away with 22 points apiece. 8 Spurs score in double figures, including all 5 starters. Spurs come home. They'll take on the Detroit Pistons tomorrow night. And the Cowboys have reworked some contracts. Dak Prescott, C.D. Lamb, Tyler Smith, clearing up $66 million in cap space.
Joe Reinagel.
That's the 3rd time in 7 seasons. The San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minix.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
On a hump day!
Hump day!
Hump day!
Hump day!
Happy Hump Day, everybody. Hope you're having a good one out there, whatever you're doing, however you are doing it. Thanks for spending some time with us here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I'm Joe Reinagel. He is Jason Minix. Happy Hump Day, Minix.
It's a great Wednesday, is it not?
Of course it is. Any day that ends in a Y, man, and we get to come in and do work and talk sports.
Do work.
Do work.
Our work is everybody else's hobby.
Absolutely.
And that's the beauty of it. Although you're trying to call me out on social media for my lunch, my question to you is, why are you digging through my trash?
Because the opportunity was there. I saw that bag, that Taco Bell bag on your desk, and I'm going, oh, geez, it's going to be a long day.
It's not going to be a long day.
It's going to be a long day, and I meant to take a picture of it then, so I get back in the office. It's in the trash. I couldn't resist. Had to dig it out of there, take a shot, and put it on social media. If you don't know what I'm talking about, at Joe Reinagel 210. Jason's got it at Jason Minix on all of our social medias. Minix had Taco Bell for lunch today.
And what's wrong with Taco Bell for lunch?
There's nothing wrong with Taco Bell for lunch, but the fact that I got to spend the next 4 hours in a small room with you is a problem.
It's called paybacks.
Paybacks?
The other day you had 2 chili dogs for lunch.
Well, dude, I did not break wind once.
It's what you say.
Not once.
Uh-huh.
Maybe a silent one.
Those are deadly.
Not so deadly.
Those are the deadly ones. So it's okay for you to have chili dogs, but I can't have Taco Bell.
Dude, Taco Bell's great, but there's nothing that produces gas more so than Taco Bell.
Jack in the Box tacos.
I don't know about that.
You're right. But see, that's the thing is, like I thought about Jack in the Box tacos, but there's a rule that you can't have those when the sun is out. Those are only great at night when you've been drinking. But I was running late for work today, and so I'm driving up Boston Highway. I'm going to Taco Cabana. And it's been a while since I've been to the Taco Cabana on Austin Highway. And it's closed. Now, I don't know what's going on with all the Taco Cabanas, but I know a bunch of them have closed. But I was still wanting tacos for lunch, so I ended up at Taco Bell.
So what'd you have?
Couple of tacos and a burrito.
All right. Nothing wrong with it. I just, we should have had that for dinner tonight instead of lunch.
Well, no, why would I have that for dinner tonight? I'm going to be, I want one good meal a day. And generally that's dinner. Lunch is food.
Well, if you're watching on our San Antonio Sports Star YouTube page and you see me start to wilt, you'll know why.
Such a weenie.
I'm just saying.
Dude, you're such a weenie sometimes.
I'm just saying. Holy cow, or if I throw the gas mask on, you know what's going on.
Dude,
in
let
the
it
studio.
rip. Now
Holy
you're encouraging me just to let it rip. And I'm not old like you. I don't have to think about trusting a fart. So I think if it's time to go, I can just let it rip.
No, dude, you're getting to the point where
I'm not there yet.
Okay, well, the first time you shart yourself, you're gonna say, "Oh, I'm there now."
Yeah, that's not gonna happen today. God, I hope.
I hope not either.
Although, kind of maybe.
Jeez. Well, I tell you what, if that happens, a good way to get the rest of the day off.
Is it?
I'd much rather be in here and do the show alone than have to smell that.
Sorry, boss. I
sharted. How would you go up there? That's all right. Just go home. See, there's the problem, man. If you did that, how do you get in your car? I mean, you'd have to. They have towels around here, or plastic.
Just borrow your jacket.
No, I don't have a jacket here.
There's a jacket in the office.
I'm sure. Huh?
There's a free T-shirt somewhere.
Wow.
You've got some Cardinal gear in there I could probably borrow.
Well, there's a Texas Rangers jersey you can have.
That's way too nice.
No, that's really not.
I've got a car towel you can have.
A car towel. What does that mean?
Well, when I wash my car, I need something to dry off the excess water.
This is true. I'm not going to need that.
It's a car towel.
I think he's going to be just fine.
I'm going to be just fine.
He'll be all right.
And Taco Bell doesn't affect me that way.
All right. Well,
At the very least, it hasn't yet, but there's nothing wrong, you taco snob, you.
I'm
Especially when I know that you and your lovely wife are frequent visitors to Taco Hell.
Absolutely. My wife loves Taco Bell, and so I don't mind it either. It's what I'm saying. I'm not going to have it for lunch before we got to sit in a small studio for 4 hours.
Well, what did you have for lunch?
I had Schlotzky's for lunch.
Uh-huh.
It's a good one.
Yeah.
I had Schlotzky's the other day. I've already had Schlotzky's this week.
Well, okay. Well, I hadn't. It's my Wednesday. I always got to make a stop somewhere on Wednesdays.
Sure.
And there's a Schlotzky's right there.
Well, see, and that's, I mean, and it's funny because, like, yesterday we had burgers. So I didn't want a burger today. And I didn't know that the Taco Cabana on Austin Highway had closed. Judging by the way it's looked, it's been closed a while. I've driven past it many times. I just didn't realize they weren't taking money anymore. And what has happened to Taco Cabana?
I don't know.
I mean, there's a bunch of the one.
Well, didn't they have a rat problem in a couple of their stores?
I mean, it's fast food, I'm sure, at some point.
Just saying.
But sir, there's a ton of them that are gone.
I don't know what happened. They've been around a long time, and maybe when Sean Elliott left them, they just went downhill.
It's possible.
That's possible. Who knows?
Who knows? Who knows?
We got so much to talk about, and people on the San Antonio Sports Star YouTube page already talking about that Spurs game last night. I say, and they did exactly what they were supposed to do last night. I mean, that team was awful wearing Philadelphia 76ers gear. Terrible.
Yeah, don't apologize for a blowout win.
No, never.
Because what were we worried about yesterday?
Yep.
Letdown game. Would they let one loss turn into two? Getaway game since they're coming home finally at the end of this rodeo road trip. And quite honestly, last night's game, and we'll get into the nostalgia part in a bit.
Yeah.
That was the best part of a bad basketball game.
I thought it was cool.
But the idea that that game was close there for a while when it was in the 20s, then you look up and the Spurs were up 15. It's like, what the hell happened?
By halftime, they were way ahead.
And they won that game by 1,014 points.
Yeah, it was.
They
crazy.
covered. They covered the 8 with
They
no
did,
problem.
With no problem.
No problem.
Yeah, I wish I'd had faith in them to do that, but I didn't.
Missed out.
I did. Yeah,
Missed
it happens.
out.
It happens.
It does.
But glad they took care of business. Home for the next 6, and it all begins tomorrow with a big one against the Detroit Pistons, a little rematch. The Pistons are going to come in here fired up, although they lose to the Cleveland Cavaliers last night.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know what's going on over there if they're really as good as advertised or not. So
again, early season. Now, granted, Thunder Knicks tonight should be a fun game to watch.
It should be. Hopefully, the Knicks can do what they did to the Spurs.
Yes.
That would be nice. Spurs now 3 games behind Oklahoma City as we sit here today. What do we got? 61, about 23 games left.
Sure.
Roughly.
Math is hard.
20-some-odd games left. So still plenty of time, without a doubt, and they're way ahead of Houston and Minnesota, who are 5.5 games behind the San Antonio Spurs. So that second seed, I feel pretty good about them not moving off of that. They should stay there. But if they can catch the Oklahoma City types, then that would be good too. So we'll talk a little Spurs basketball. Let's do that because it was a fun night. Even blowout, and I know Spurs fans enjoy that. There was really no worrying about what happened last night. But NBC did a pretty cool thing, bringing back the old 90s NBC broadcast style. Bob Costas back and Hannah Storm back. And it was just it had a cool feel to it if you grew up watching that stuff. Just kind of going back to that. So I thought it was a cool deal. We'll talk about that. And we'll talk Spurs basketball when we continue here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
If you are a business owner, you run a business, you're a manager, you're a club leader, if you need your logo on any kind of gear, you know you need to get into Sammy's Embroidery and Printing down on San Pedro. You need that logo on some golf shirts, some fishing shirts, dress shirts, you name it. Sam will get you taken care of. He's got all the big name brands like Under Armour, North Face, Eddie Bauer, Nike, Travis Matthew, Port Authority, to name a few. Heck, he even carries a full line of Tommy Bahama now. Great pricing on the Tommy Bahama, and that price does include your logo. You need T-shirts, screen printed, go see Sam. If you need caps, Sammy's has over 25,000 caps and more than 75 color combinations in stock on display in that showroom right now, just waiting for your logo. And, of course, he's got all the popular cap brands like the Richardson 112 style trucker caps, Katie caps, Nike Cap America. Sam has over 700 uniform lines to choose from all kinds of industries. He's the only company in Texas that offers one-day turnaround. No order too big, no order too small, and you know nobody has better prices than Sammy's Embroidery and Printing. Call 210-824-3900, 824-3900, or go by that massive showroom down on San Pedro, 1 mile inside Loop 410, right there across from McDonald's, or check the website, samsembroidery.com, for Sammy's Embroidery Club.
Hormones can affect everything. Bad skin, bad hair, low energy, poor sleep, brain fogginess, libido, and weight gain. I'm Dr. Torres at the Institute for Functional Health, and we take a functional approach to your hormone problems. Eating right and exercise will not be beneficial without optimal hormone function. This goes for men and women. We do state-of-the-art testing to get to the root of your hormone issues and help you get well and stay well. I'm Dr. Torres at the Institute for Functional Health. We can help. 210-468-1891.
Running a business means wearing multiple hats. So if you're like me, you probably started out using your personal phone, taking client calls and texts nonstop. As my business grew, I needed something smarter. That's when I switched to Quo, the #1 business phone system. Quo works right on your phone or computer. No carrying 2 phones, no clunky landline, just one easy app you can try for free. Your team can share one number and handle calls and texts together like a shared inbox. Any teammate can jump into the conversation so customers get faster responses. And Quo's AI assistant summarizes your calls and responds to customers 24/7, so you never miss a lead or opportunity. All this starts at just $15 a month. That's basically 2 coffees. You can even keep your current business phone number. Find out why 90,000 businesses trust Quo. No missed calls, no missed customers. Try Quo for free at quo.com/sports. That's quo.com/sports to try Quo free. QUO.com/SPORTS.
That pallet of pavers collecting dust? The beginnings of a garden? Those stray fence posts? Are you haunted by half-finished projects on your land? John Deere is here to say, not anymore. Our compact tractors allow you to swap implements easily, and they're backed by the nation's largest dealer network. You always had the right idea, and with the right tools, those projects can get finished for good. Nothing runs like a Deere. Learn more at johndeere.com/compact tractors.
It's game day. Are your moderate to severe Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis symptoms keeping you from the action? Skyrizi, risankizumab Riza, could help you get back to the game. Skyrizi is proven to help people feel significant symptom relief, achieve remission, and visibly improve damage of the intestinal lining. Skyrizi is a prescription injection medicine for adults. Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines. Liver problems leading to hospitalization may occur when treated for Crohn's or ulcerative colitis.
Control is everything to me.
Ask your doctor about Skyrizi, the #1 prescribed biologic in Crohn's and ulcerative colitis combined. Learn more at skyrizi.com or 1-866-SKYRIZI.
When it comes to results, the numbers speak for themselves. Thomas J. Henry secured over $1 billion for clients in the past 4 years and successfully represented thousands of injured Texans. Thomas J. Henry, the name you know, the firm you trust. San Antonio, Texas.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Jeff's day is off to a slow start. So he heads to AutoZone, America's #1 battery destination, where Sammy, a local AutoZoner, tests his battery for free. Looks like he just needs a charge. And Sammy does that for free too. In no time at all, Jeff is back on the road, ready to finish the day strong. Free battery testing and charging at every store. No hassles, just help.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
It's the Blitz with Jason and Joe on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
But I saw something here on Twitter. Our good friend Mario Barrios is moving up in weight after his loss to Ryan Garcia the other day. He's going to move up to 154 pounds. I don't know. Will that help him? That's according to BoxingScene.com.
Yeah, I got a lot of thoughts on that. He hasn't been sharp in his last couple of fights. 2 draws and a loss. And he looked really bad against Pacquiao. Probably should have lost that one. And
looked really bad against Garcia.
I mean, really, really bad.
Horrible.
Should have been knocked out. How
Horrible.
he wasn't knocked out is a bit of a surprise. And if his camp feels like it's because he needs to move up and weight, maybe. But now I'm trying to think, who would he be eligible to fight in this higher weight class?
Well, it's a good question, but I think that's why he's doing it. I think it just gives him a fresh start, if you will. Yeah, you put on 10 pounds, 11 pounds, or whatever it is, and whole new opportunities out there. I'm just not sure, and that Barrios has the power to move up and go with those guys. But hey, I wish him the best of luck, and I'm glad he's trying something. But yeah, his last 3 fights have been nothing less than spectacular.
See, and I'm wondering if moving up is actually better for him than. As we all know, when we get older, it's harder to keep that weight loss down. But I don't know that. I mean, strength and power against Garcia, I don't know was the issue, and certainly stamina wasn't, because he did last all 12 rounds, right?
Did he ever hit Garcia?
Well,
not very often.
Well, I mean, no. But but that's where I wonder if going up in class a little bit would allow him to add some more muscle for the strength part. And, because obviously he's proven he could take a lot of punches and stand there for 12 rounds. His defense is still pretty good.
Well, I wish him the best of luck. He needs to do something because, again, his last 3 fights have just been not good. And the last one, the fight against Garcia, was just awful. He didn't even look like he belonged in the same ring with Garcia. So, I wish him the best of luck. Hey, I hope he does well and hope he comes back and wins another title.
Yes. Go get another title.
Go get it.
And keep after it. I mean, that's ultimately what that dude needs to do. The Spurs trying to get another title. Rodeo Road Trip is over.
Yeehaw.
Dude, I think it's funny. I mean, Harper, was asked last night after the game about the Rodeo Road Trip, and he just responded from what I saw on Twitter, dude, we need that new downtown arena. Do you even know about this downtown arena? Mitch Johnson kind of laughed at it.
He's been here for 2 seconds. He doesn't have a vote yet. I haven't been here much longer, but he definitely doesn't have a vote.
Although he ain't wrong, and you're right. He might not understand the political landscape of what it takes to get a new arena. But, yeah, there needs to be a new arena, at least for now. The vote happening last night, Ron Nirenberg will be on the ballot as the nominee for the Democratic side for the county judge in November. I don't know.
Kind of an ass whooping last night.
Yeah. A little surprised.
Yeah.
I really like Peter Sakai, but
he's still got to run against the Republican. But I would assume
I don't even know who's the Republican.
I don't know.
And again, we don't get into politics for obvious reasons, right?
But I think Nirenberg is popular enough. He's probably going to win that seat.
The idea that he won so convincingly last night, much like the Spurs over the Sixers, will at least I think with new arena talk, the Spurs, SS&E, Peter J. Holt, they have somebody in the building that spent a lot of time laying the groundwork. And, Judge Sakai was on board and then seemingly off board with the new arena. Dude flipped in a hurry, which is still confusing. So,
that looks like it hurt him, too.
Big time. So, but now that Ron Nuremberg is going to be the favorite to win county judge, the idea of that new building moving forward without too many delays, even if a mayor who says she wants a deal will throw up some obstacles, you've got now a county judge to at least push things along.
Yeah, no doubt. And that's certainly good news for Spurs fans and people that want that. So, but look, I agree with Harper. I mean, he's smart enough to know you don't want to go out on the road for 9-10 games and be away from home. That doesn't do anybody any good. And I realize that used to be the battle cry for the Spurs when back in the day when they all came together. I'm not sure if given the option we can come together at home just fine.
Exactly. Now, that game last night, dominant, beautiful in so many different ways. Just the idea that the Spurs won 131-91, and it wasn't that close. Their largest lead was 49, yet it felt like 99. Vic played 24 minutes. Dude only took 5 shots. He didn't take a shot in the first quarter. He didn't need to. Everybody else was getting involved. Now, he was blocking shots. And man, there was one point I thought he was going to have more block shots than shots. In fact, he did. He finished with 6 block shots and only took 5 field goals. Think about that. I mean, dude was incredible. And just the idea of just total domination after the bad loss, they responded properly.
Well, they did, and some guys stepped up. And again, and I don't want to take anything away. They won by 40. That's what you're supposed to do, and against a team like that. But Philly was so banged up, nobody there. That was a G League team for the most part that they played against. But they did what they needed to do against that team. Took the lead, pounded them, never let up, and they're off and running. And now they're back home for what promises to be a challenging schedule ahead, beginning tomorrow night with the Detroit Pistons.
Yeah, definitely. And again, you look at coming home after a convincing win, one that you should win, so not one that would create any kind of negative feelings in that locker room. But Mitch Johnson said this team all year has responded well after a loss.
Yeah, I think, up until this moment in the season, one of the things I've been most proud of our group and most happy with those guys, because it's them, is their competitive response. And typically when we've had some adversity, whether that's unique lineups, haven't played well, someone got the better of us maybe, whether it's the prior game or in a stretch, we typically have bounced back, and I think that's a testament to their character and competitiveness.
Yeah, he's right. Absolutely. They came out, they took care of business, knew it was the last game of the Rodeo Road Trip. They're going home, but you take care of business, get that done. Now you come home, and you're going to be here for a while. So a huge Rodeo Road Trip for this team. One loss on this Rodeo Road Trip is just incredible. And when we had the poll before this trip started, there were a couple of people out there that said they'd go undefeated. They were almost right.
Mm-hmm.
I thought they'd have 3 or 4 losses. They didn't. And so, props to them for going out on the road and taking care of the business that they took care of. And now the stretch run for the playoffs begins.
It's beautiful, isn't it? 21,
It really is.
21 games left in the regular season. The Spurs are going to, at the very least, be the 2 seed, if not the 1. If they don't finish in the top 2 in the Western Conference, something really, really, really bad has happened, right?
Yes.
I mean, there is enough of a gap between the 2 and 3 seed to know that the Spurs are there. Now, what we're really going to find out about this young team is not getting complacent, thinking that, all right, they've accomplished something, because they know they're a good team. They know they're a deep team. Hell, you heard Steph Castle say that, in the postgame show last night, and he's right. And I don't know if it was the whole NBC nostalgia night, but listening to Steph Castle talk about this group reminded me of hearing Manu talk about this group when they were winning championships. The confidence level that some night it might be Manu, some night it might be Tim, some night it might be Tony, but somebody was going to have a big game, and the unselfish play amongst the group. And again, maybe it was because of the nostalgia, but listening to Steph Castle in the postgame last night just kind of gave me that feel. Man, this feels like those championship teams that the Spurs had under Greg Popovich.
Well, it will be interesting to see, and I hope they do. Heck, I hope they get it done. It'd be fantastic. What a turnaround and what a run that would be. Look, this team is deep, and they're only going to get better. And that's what the scary thing for the rest of the league. You talk about Castle growing up. You talk about Dylan Harper growing up. The way Devin Vassell is playing, Keldon Johnson. And again, Wemby offensively has had one good game in the last 5. Last night he didn't have to. And most of the games on this trip that he didn't play well offensively, he didn't have to. And so that's a good problem to have until he gets back and starts doing his thing. But I'm going to say I no longer think that Wemby has to take over games. I mean, he doesn't have to be a monster. He just has to play defense. He has to do his thing on the offensive side. They're going to need him to score, obviously, more than he did yesterday. But I just think, man, this team is so deep and they've got so much talent that they don't need Wemby to be a monster night in and night out.
No, but what they do need is to shoot threes north of 35%. That kind of feels like that 35, 38, 40% range. If they're making threes at that level, they are ultimately going to win a bunch of games, regardless of what Wemby might be doing on the offensive side. Again, Wemby, I don't want to say he didn't take a night off. He played last night, but he kind of had a night off on the offensive end. And last night really felt like, all right, let's see, I've got to get 20 minutes in this game in order to stay eligible for all these postseason awards. And he played 24 minutes, but that felt like an eligibility game because, honestly, when he sat down for the first time out, if Mitch didn't put him back in, the Spurs would not have missed him.
No.
But he needs the minimum number of games with the minimum time in each of those games to stay eligible, and that's why he did play 24 minutes last night. As far as the NBC broadcast, and apologies to Sean and Jacob, but the only time I saw Sean Elliott last night is when NBC showed him.
That's it. Me too.
Because last night was a lot of fun. James Pledger, I'm stealing your line. I didn't know I needed that. That's what James said coming in.
Yep.
I did not know I needed that throwback. I thought it was going to be cool, but I was the same way. Last night was awesome on every level. I missed Marv, and I'm glad they brought up that, he's probably watching somewhere.
I'm sure.
And I don't know if he's capable at this point, although they did indicate maybe down the line you might see him on an NBC broadcast if they do it again. But I thought last night was great. What did you guys think?
I thought it was fantastic. I really did. I thought it was cool. It was good to see Bob Costas again calling the game. Hannah Storm with her flowery outfit that she had on. But I mean, she looked good, and Doug Collins good as well. I mean, it was just good to see those guys, and it brought back a lot of memories of the basketball in the 90s. Well, and I'm glad they showed the Memorial Day miracle shot and give Sean Elliott a lot of love last night. That was cool.
Even my buddy John Robbins sent me a text, something along the lines of, I didn't know how much I needed to see the Czar's rug. Because he had a little bit of all of it, with Fratello and then PJ Carlissimo as a part of the broadcast. I mean, just all of it was great, from the graphics to the opening last night.
This is the NBA on NBC. Tonight, the San Antonio Spurs visit the Philadelphia 76ers. It's Coast to Coast Tuesday, presented by Kia.
A cold, rainy night in the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia. The city where American democracy was born 250 years ago, and hence the name of this city's NBA team, the 76ers, who tonight play host to the San Antonio Spurs. It's game one of NBC's Coast to Coast Tuesday, which tonight is also Throwback Tuesday, as we welcome you to Xfinity Mobile Arena. Hi, everybody. I'm Bob Costas with Coach Doug Collins, four-time All-Star with the 76ers, former NBA Coach of the Year, the guy that Marv dubbed the czar of the telestrator, Mike Fratello. So it's Throwback Tuesday. We put the old band back together. We got the band back together at least for one night.
Got the band back together for at least one night, and it was really cool. I don't know what else to say, but I found myself just I don't know, the graphics, the music, the announcers, all of it. I just found it very cool, and it was an enjoyable game to watch, even though the game was not a very good game at all.
And judging by some of the comments on YouTube, it seems like everybody enjoyed it. From reminding me of watching back at my grandmother's house is what Michael wrote, and so many other comments there. Apparently they did have a conversation with Greg Popovich. No video, but they said he sounded good in going old school. And Bob Costa is still very much aware. At one point, while they were talking about some of the legends in the game, from Dick Ebersol to Dick Enberg.
Kelly
Dick
graduated
Enberg
that
was,
weekend.
Kind enough to let me see Kelly graduate.
And I
Dick
worked that one
Ebersol.
with you
Dick
guys,
Ebersol.
too.
What did I say?
I think
Dick
you said Enberg.
Oh,
yeah. Two great Dicks.
Yes.
D-E-T. Someone's going to cut that off, and it's not going to sound right.
Don't take
It's
it
not
off.
going to sound right. Two great Richards, known as Dick, with the last name beginning with an E. Two D-Es.
Yes. And thank you, Dick Ebersol.
Yes. And thank you, whoever edits that out. Fox for 3, trying to change the subject.
In this day of social media, good luck, those guys.
Oh, I'm toast.
Yeah.
Two great Dicks.
Two great dicks. All right. Uh-huh.
Sounded better coming out of Bob Costas' mouth.
Two great Dicks.
So to speak.
I want to touch it.
Poor Bob.
Oh.
Poor Bob.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you say something and it sounds really good in your own head, and then it comes out of your mouth, and it's like, ooh.
Yeah.
I love wieners. Yeah, exactly. You see? At least they weren't great wieners.
It's hard. Yeah, it's definitely hard.
Although I have a pretty good rub. I tell you, it was a lot of fun last night, and props to the Spurs for taking care of business and coming on back home. And now I look forward to the next 6 games for sure, beginning tomorrow night with Detroit. And again, I think the Spurs can send a message because, look, you know the Pistons are going to come in here, say, look, you guys beat us at our place. We want to return the favor. It's going to be a fired-up Pistons team, I think, coming in here tomorrow night. So it's going to be a great game. Hopefully the Spurs will take care of business and keep rolling. Meanwhile, the Knicks take on the Oklahoma City Thunder tonight at Madison Square Garden. They can certainly help the Spurs cause. That is for sure. We'll talk a lot more Spurs basketball as we go on, but we need to talk some Cowboys football because there were some things that happened today that will allow the Cowboys to go out and spend some money to improve that defense. Let's talk to R.J. Ochoa. Blogging the boys, he joins us next here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Think about that Thunder-Knicks game tonight. You maybe want to watch some other basketball, some college hoops, maybe some hockey. The best place to do that is the Rue Pub. They're at 281 and Redland Road, my home away from home, with those 3 massive 170-inch screens and TVs all around. And it's also steak night at the Rue Pub. 12-ounce ribeye, your salad, potato for $19.95. Dine-in only, 6 p.m. to sell out. And it's a fantastic steak. So if you're hungry, you're thinking you want a great steak tonight, get into the Rue Pub. Every other night, I'm going to tell you to get the fried shrimp or the wings or one of the 15 burgers on the menu or the chicken sandwich because all the food at the Rue Pub is fantastic. They've got great appetizers. I'm told the salads are wonderful, and that kitchen is open late every day with the full menu available. So when you need a late-night meal, don't go to a drive-thru. Get into the Rue Pub there at 281 and Redland Road. Happy hour weekdays from 11 to 6. Great for lunch, great for dinner, great for late at night. Certainly great tonight because it is steak night at the Roo Pub, just down from the Big Blind, right next to the Angry Elephant. 281 in Redland Road. We'll see you at the Roo.
Hey, this is Rob Thompson here with my good friends from Prize Picks. I've got a little hint for you. I want you to go download Prize Picks right now. And if you remember the code ALAMO, you're going to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Remember, that's code ALAMO, and you'll get $50 in lineups. That's just from me to you. Now, let's talk about why you want to go get on Prize Picks, because right now is the best time to play Prize Picks, because the season's meat is there. We know what the teams are doing. We know who's going to get more or less. Now go capitalize. As college ends up, as the NBA pros head toward the playoffs, you know that Wemby's trending up. You know that Steph Castle's trending up. You know that certain guys are trending down. Now's the time to go play. So when you're playing basketball and you are winning, remember what Prize Picks does for you? If they start out fast, you can go ahead and cash out before the game's even over. That's why I love Prize Picks. Also, you got good picks? Share them on social media. They're going to help you do that. Prize Picks is fantastic because being right is good. Being right more is better. But man, it feels so good to be right.
Hop in a John Deere Gator XUV for a day's work. Let's see what's on the to-do list. There goes the tree. And the fence. Not a problem. Because you've got a cargo box filled with solutions. Up to 4,000 pounds of towing capacity. And you're ready to roll.
The power's out!
Here we go again. The Gator XUV. Built for every kind of workday. Learn more at johndeere.com/Gator XUV. Nothing runs like a deer.
Attention coaches, educators, and booster clubs. Need a fundraiser that's different from the rest? With Gardenville, supporters purchase something they already need. High quality, locally sourced mulch and compost. Your organization earns money on every sale. Real products, real value, with support from Gardenville to keep it simple. Ready to grow your fundraiser? Visit garden-ville.com/fundraising. That's garden-ville.com/fundraising.
Injuries happen, and when they do, skip the ER and get to the Ortho Now Injury Clinic by TSAOG Orthopedics and Spine. Ortho Now provides walk-in care for injuries like broken bones, dislocations, sprains, and strains. Conveniently located in the Quarry area with extended hours Monday through Saturday with on-site x-ray casting and bracing, Ortho Now has everything you need to treat your injury, and best of all, no urgent care or emergency room copay. Learn more online at tsaog.com.
Buyers Barricades is proud to provide traffic control, rental, and sales for work zones and events in the San Antonio area and beyond. Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. Learn more online at buyersbarricades.com. That's buyersbarricades.com.
Jackson Hewitt handles your taxes and your stress. Inhale our no surprise price of $149 or less. Exhale, paying more for complicated taxes. You won't. Inhale, new tax law knowledge. Exhale, missing out on your biggest refund? Certainly not. Don't miss paying $149 or less. Rest easy. Jackson Hewitt's got your taxes. Guaranteed. Limited time offer for new clients on federal returns. Participating locations only. Terms at jacksonhewitt.com/149.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Stars Spring Golf Classic is back. Monday, March 30th at the Golf Club of Texas. Get your slot now. $150 per person or $500 per foursome. The Spring Golf Classic, benefiting fitting animals at no-kill shelters across Texas, is presented by Flight by Yingling, sponsored in part by Jesse Hernandez, the Texas Chancla, PPL Motorhomes, and Ancira Auto Group. The Spring Golf Classic, Monday, March 30th. Sign up now at sasportstar.com.
I don't know what's going on in the booth in there, but some frustration showing, I guess. This is the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Before we get to RJ Ochoa, Stephon Diggs has been released by the New England Patriots. Going to become a free agent. So I don't know if Diggs has got anything left in the tank. I think he does. Somebody will snag on with somebody, I'm sure. But
maybe him and his brother can finally find a team where they could play together.
Well, I think Stephon has got more left in the tank than Trayvon does.
I mean, 2 Diggs for the price of 1.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know if it'd be worth it.
No, well, I mean, could you imagine Rams make a major trade today with the Kansas City Chiefs. It is interesting when you look about and you see all the different activity going on in the NFL as everybody is positioning for the league year. Now, Brandon Aubrey still needs to get taken care of by the Dallas Cowboys. I saw a report today that Green Bay's interested, although I'm wondering because the report or the tweet said that, they're talking to his reps, and I'm like, well, wait. That would be tampering at this point, wouldn't it? Just saying.
Well, I suppose so. Has the tender been applied to one Brandon Aubrey? I have not seen if it has.
I don't know that it's time yet for the deadline, but it will be. And if Brandon Aubrey's getting a hell of a raise no matter what. And the question is, will he end up staying with the Dallas Cowboys? That's the $10 million question when it comes to the Cowboys kicker.
Well, if he doesn't, the Cowboys get compensated for that. If they apply that tender, I think they do, and so either way, they'll make out okay. I saw something here, and I'm looking for it. That Aubrey was at some event today, some soccer event.
Yep.
And he was asked about the tender, and he said, "Well, it's a great raise, but it's not ideal." Those are his words.
Well,
and I'm paraphrasing.
It's only 1 year. And that's what he's looking for. Obviously he's going to say it's not ideal. And quite frankly, the Cowboys did offer him a contract that would make him the highest paid kicker, and it wasn't enough money for him and his agent. He also confirmed that his agent, Todd France, did meet with the Cowboys at the Combine. So he does probably have a better idea of where that is, but a massive gap still remains from where Brandon Aubrey wants to be paid and what the Cowboys are willing to pay him, even though that would make him the highest paid kicker in the NFL. Let's talk more about it with RJ Ochoa from bloggingtheboys.com, joining us now on the Buyers Barricades guest line. And look, we can't spend too much time talking about a kicker, RJ. But at what point is Brandon Aubrey's ask too much for Jerry to say, dude, love you, but I can't pay a kicker that much money?
I suppose if you want a number, $7 million per year, right? I mean, if we all understand that 6.4 is the current going rate, I know that people have a beef and an issue with the idea that the next guy gets more than the last guy. But I think we're all okay with that here. If you really want more than that much more than Brandon, all due respect, and it's not even the kicker thing for me. It's that percentage of a raise is immense. I mean, just contextually and proportionally. I know people are mad about how much money Dak makes. I mean, he wasn't asking for that percentage level of a raise over the market. So it's your turn, Brandon. Good for you, but this is the game, and you should be happy. I'm not trying to accuse him of not being happy, but you should be willing to take this deal if it is in front of you the way it's reported to be.
Yeah, if he was offered $7 million a year, and that's going to come with a guarantee, obviously, he should have taken it. If he doesn't like the tender, which would be about a $4 million a year raise, but it is only 1 year. I'm curious, though, if these reports are true that Green Bay wants to talk to him, what would they be willing to offer? Are they willing to go more than $7 million a year? That would be my question.
Go for it. Give us that second-round pick. By all means. Like, look, I do not mean to minimize how important Brandon Aubrey is. I once wrote a 2,000-word article about how the Cowboys should take Dan Bailey off of kickoff duties because it was an extra bit of physical, effort for him when he was dealing with back injuries and issues. So I take a lot of, priority in what people and players and kickers like Brandon Aubrey offer. But I would also offer that this scouting department, this team, this front office, this regime, they kind of have a pretty decent track record of finding kickers as of late. Greg Zuerlein was kind of the first guy under John Fossil. He had a few moments before everything broke, and then they moved on. I mean, kickers kind of the place they're the most shrewd in the best sort of way. And when they brought Brett Maher back, I wrote 2,000 words killing them and destroying them, and he was awesome. It broke, and it broke in a devastating way in the playoffs, but when it broke, they moved on, and then they found Brandon Aubrey. So this is kind of the one spot where I trust them to say, you know what, we'll move on. We'll find another way. We won't lose any sleep, especially if they can net a second-round pick out of it.
Well, and that's it, because there will be compensation, and the Cowboys certainly need some day 2 picks as we visit with RJ Ochoa from bloggingtheboys.com. And the fact that they apparently did offer him a contract that would make him the highest paid kicker, they have that already factored into the budget. So when you're talking about what a George Pickens is going to make and still spending money in free agency, the money for Aubrey is already accounted for. It's not like this is any kind of a surprise, and now they've got to rob Peter to pay Paul. They've already done that in calculating what they can do. And, of course, today they restructured a couple of deals to free up some money. Jerry did say on the bus in Indianapolis, RJ, that they're probably going to spend more than they normally do, and he was willing to bet on that. Now, granted, it's a safe bet for Jerry because he isn't known to spend a lot of money in free agency, so one big deal, and he's going to win his own bet, is he not?
He is, and I think, that's what works against Brandon Aubrey right now that works for the Cowboys is, it's not a secret. You guys know better than anyone. Their reputation has not been great for the last 2 years. It's been kind of an annoying thing to be a Dallas Cowboys fan. And I think right now the sun has begun to rise. I don't know that everybody thinks it's bright and sunshiny, but the darkest part of the night is behind everyone. And so I think when the Cowboys were in the middle of fights with Dak and with CD and with Micah, I think there were there was a larger amount of people who were willing to take the team side because it was screw the front office. And the front office has earned some goodwill back. I will say that. And to your point, they will earn some more potentially by this time next week. They'll have had 48 hours more than that at this moment to have, legally tampered with people and players, and we'll be on the precipice of the new league year beginning. And if they're out bringing in Nakobe Dean and Reed Blankenship and who knows who else, people are very quickly going to throw the Brandon Aubrey toy to the side because the Cowboys will have dazzled them with a few new things.
Well, no doubt, and they took the first step today by restructuring some deals of Dak Prescott, C.D. Lamb, Tyler Smith. So they did create some money, and from the story of the report I read, there could be others that get restructured to add even more money. So if you take Jerry at his word, at least he is posturing to be able to spend some money in the free agent market.
Yeah, look, Lucy's going to yank this ball. Like I know that, you know that, we all know, all right, but if we strip away, if an alien landed here and if Victor Wembanyama all of a sudden suddenly landed here today and we had to explain all this to him, I think he would say, well, they're moving like they're going to be doing something different. I think if we look at and examine the hiring of Christian Parker, the process that led to it, and obviously the selection of him and how different he is from anybody that ever really decided on and hired, the Javonte Williams deal, which – again, these are small, bare bones, basic things, but good for you. Like we talked about last week, you're putting your plate in the sink and throwing the food in the trash. Good job, Cowboys. And now these restructures, these are a simple thing. This is a very bare bones, common sense mechanism to deploy, but we've seen them wait until the summer to do this. And so is it just getting cap compliant? Maybe. And maybe we're going to be sitting here next week and everyone else will have new toys and we'll just be sitting here with our socks and underwear. But they are acting in a more adult, in a more mature way. And right now, I'm inclined to believe some of what they're saying. But this time next week will have offered us actual tangible proof of all that idea.
RJ Ochoa, bloggingtheboys.com with us here on the Blitz. RJ, kind of rumor season, if you will. A lot of names being associated with the Dallas Cowboys, and I've always believed a lot of agents always include the Cowboys because it's going to attract more attention. Minnesota might trade a guy. Oh, Cowboys, the new D-line coach was there. Max Crosby, Cowboys. Nakobe Dean, Cowboys. And again, with the way this staff defensively was assembled, I think it's fair to look at that because it's not like, Christian Parker came from Philadelphia and bought, 8 guys from Philly. I mean, you've got relationships from all over the league now working in at Dallas, but of all the different names that you have heard that could be, which ones excite you most?
Well, the Max Crosby thing doesn't feel real to me. That feels the most like if what you described was a movie, like the connections from agents and whatnot, the like poster has Ndamukong Suh. You know what I mean? Like the people who are always connected to the Cowboys to get more cash. Honestly, I mean, and look, it bothers me to admit this, but the two Eagles that have been the most connected to the Cowboys are Reed Blankenship and Nakobe Dean. And I love those because they've been outstanding players. I love those because they're positions of need for the Cowboys, and they therefore also allow the Cowboys more room and a higher, sort of margin for error when it comes to the NFL draft, because they don't have to be pigeonholed into taking a linebacker or a safety. But more than that, the thing I want most this entire offseason for the next year, 2 years, 3 years, whatever, I want it to be Brian Schottenheimer's show. I want it to be Christian Parker's show. And so getting Nakobe Dean, getting Reed Blankenship, that would signal Christian Parker wants those guys. He believes in them. Even if I didn't like them, even if I bought into Nakobe Dean being injury prone, even if I didn't think that Reed Blankenship was all that great in coverage during his days as an Eagle, if Christian Parker signs off, that's what I care about. Let the dudes who you hired to be the coaches, to be the leaders of the team, let those dudes be who you live and die with. And if they're doing that, that's what truly excites me more than the characteristics or qualities or variables of any single player.
That would be so different to be a Dallas Cowboy fan and to have not Jerry Jones have his hand in everything. I don't know how you'd function without that. But I agree with you. And if Shotty and Parker and the coaching staff are just given some free rein, let that leash out a little bit, I'd like to see what they do, see what they can put together and how they can do it. Christian Parker, I mean, look, I don't know him from Adam. I'm not sure you do either, RJ or Jason. But everybody you talk to says he's a great guy. Everybody you talk to says he's great with defensive backs. So let the man operate and do what he does and see if he is all that and what everybody says he is.
Yeah, and I really admire our Eagles guy at SB Nation. If y'all tell him that, I'll never speak to you again. But he used to kind of describe the Eagles' approach to things in that they had a lot of fear. The way the Cowboys are afraid of the future. What if we do rob Peter to pay Paul? What will Paul say? And my colleague Brandon, his disposition was always like, who cares what he says? Like what's the worst thing that's going to happen? You're not going to win the Super Bowl again. And at that point, the Eagles had never won one. And so my whole point here is, because I agree with you vehemently, Joe. What's the worst thing that happens, Jerry and Steven, if you listen to Brian and Christian? You lose games? Oh no. Stephen A. Smith clowns on you. Wow, how will you recover, right? You get mentioned in a State of a Union address. You've been there. You've done that. You've done everything under the sun and been embarrassed in more ways than anybody can possibly conceive of. So, what is the worst that possibly happen? Try it in the name of trying it, and then we'll all shut up for a decade. But if you give it one go, we'll all at least, accept it, that it was at least a legitimate and authentic thing.
RJ Ochoa, as you think about what Jerry did say Friday on the bus in Indianapolis, anything really stand out to you that's interesting?
I, again, know that Lucy's going to pull this ball away. But I did find it interesting that Jerry apologized for a lack of titles in this entire draft, whether his son wants to contextualize it that way or not. And I get so exhausted of how people posit, why the Cowboys are operating to be, whether it's because they, Jerry wants to finally get one without any shadow of Jimmy over him or whatever. I, at the very least, think that we have annoyed them. As a collective, just group of people, I think we have irritated them so much by being maybe right in a lot of things, but also wildly wrong. And I think that they're finally like, you know what? They think we can't show compassion and grace. Watch out. You know what? They think we can't hire some young, innovative, hot, minds on the defensive side of the ball. Watch out. So on some level, I think we have successfully bullied them into acting like adults. And that was kind of my takeaway, because there is a little bit less razzle-dazzle from them this offseason. I mean, Brandon Aubrey was like throwing down the Thunderdome wanting to fight, and Jerry was like, we'll see. Think about that. There was a player in contentious contract negotiations with Jerry Jones last week, and Jerry Jones was the more mature one. And we're not talking about Micah Parsons. We're talking about Brandon Aubrey. it was kind of astounding to me. And so I'm really not amazed as much as I'm just a little excited. I can feel myself falling into the trap once again, but damn it, this is what it means to live. And I'm happy to feel this way at the very least.
Well, you know, RJ, I will just say this, and when I look at the Los Angeles Rams, what they did today, I would like to see a bold move like that from the Dallas Cowboys. And I say that because the weakest part of that defense for the Rams was their secondary. They went out and addressed that with Trent McDuffie today. They gave up a lot for him, but to me, they feel like that's the piece of the puzzle that's going to get them over the top and help them beat the Seattle Seahawks next year. The Cowboys haven't done anything like that, and I would really – so you talk about a Max Crosby deal, a big, huge, spectacular deal, whether it feels real or not, whether it ever happens, I don't think it will. But something like that, I would love to see the Cowboys take a huge swing on somebody like that fits a need for them that will help this team immediately.
I hate to do the thing that they do, which is point to past moves as like, well, you know, we actually got you the PlayStation for Christmas back in October, Joe. So, like, you know, just pretend you're opening it today on Christmas Day. But they did trade for Quinnen Williams, right? Like that was something that was geared more towards the future than it was last season. So I think you have to contextualize that. But to live in your parlance of taking a big swing, what I want more than that is I want them to walk up to the batter's box and say, okay, I got a runner on second, and there's only one out, and this pitcher likes to hang them low and outside. I want them to have that much of a plan. I don't just want them to go up, and I'm not saying you're exactly saying this, but and hack away for the sake of taking a big swing. I want there to be one consolidated plan where all of their efforts and all their energy are moving in a singular direction. And if that plan is let's take big swings, if that plan is let's trade for Max Crosby, let's trade both the first-round picks, and who cares if we don't have any top 100 picks? Okay, cool, bet. That's the plan, and you live and die with the consequences of those results. But you can't say we're going to trade our first for Max Crosby and we're focused on building the future. No, like you have to have one dedicated strategy, and if that's what you're doing, I think you'll have more bites at the apple, more at-bats, so to speak, to where you don't have to just swing for the fences the one moment that you're in the box.
I'm tired of planning for the future. I'll be honest with you.
They're not planning. They haven't been. Like, that's my point. They haven't been planning for the future or going all in. They've just, like, on Tuesday feeling like, you know, cutting a guy. And then on Wednesday feeling like trading for a guy. And on Thursday, you know, hopping on the fan and talking about how they're not going to put up curtains. Like, it has been treading water for forever. So move in one direction, even if it's a direction that you don't like or I don't like or Jason doesn't like. But if all of your energy is in one direction, respect. Like, that's what matters the most. To your point, the Rams' direction is every time they get in the box, they're swinging for the fences. Maybe they're Barry Bonds, but I want them to be more like Carlos Correa. I want them to understand the tenors, the tempos, everything that's happening in a given game so they can most help the objective, which is to win.
Well, I mean, the Rams have a Super Bowl under their belt by going all in, and now they're back again, Super Bowl contenders. So I think you can take big swings, you can go all in, and recover pretty quickly in this league. The Rams have showed that, and some other teams have as well. And I just think the Cowboys need to operate in a different way and take some swings, fill the needs, and let's go. And if it doesn't work, so what? At least you tried, and you put a team out there on the field that can get it done. And then I think fans can live with that.
Jason looked like he was going to speak. I don't know.
Well, I try not to let Jason speak.
Yeah,
So.
Really? All right. That's another discussion after we turn this car around, kids. In all seriousness, because we are up against the proverbial time wall, RJ, because Joe's right, you're right, and until the Cowboys do something, it's all spaghetti on the wall. It's all hot air. 1 week from today, and in 60 seconds, the league year will officially begin. Next Wednesday at 3 o'clock Central Time. So next Wednesday during this segment, how crazy is your phone going to be with all the stuff that we've heard from the legal tampering period and guys can sign starting at 3 o'clock next Wednesday? Will the Cowboys be active on day one?
I'll put a number on it and be very brief. 2.5 is the over-under in terms of external additions. So a Brandon Aubrey deal would not count. Brand new players, brand new blood. I will take the over by this exact minute next week. What say each of you?
Wow.
Wow. So over on. So he's saying at least 3 external signings by this time.
Not
next
necessarily
week.
A+ dudes, but numerically, I'm taking over on 2.5. What about you guys? Put some money on it.
Under until the Cowboys show me something different. I mean, it might be 1, but they don't shop on day 1. They're not at Neiman Marcus, man. They wait till the end of the week at Dollar General. That's what they have shown to do. And until they show me otherwise, I'm going under. I want you to be right, though. But if we're putting money on it, I'm taking the under.
Well, I want them to be right as long as they're not guys that are one-year guys that have failed everywhere else the way they brought in guys last year. Now, Javonte Williams was a good gamble, and it worked out. But I'm just saying, I'm ready for a splash, man.
Guys, Lucy's making eyes. She might hold it this time. You never know. At least go up and swing the leg.
RJ Ochoa. Read him at bloggingtheboys.com. Follow him on socials. Enjoy your week, my friend.
Yes, sir.
Good stuff.
Survivor and Scrubs tonight.
Whatever.
Great TV night.
Yes.
RJ Ochoa from bloggingtheboys.com on the Buyers Barricades guest line, where they provide traffic control, rental, and sales for San Antonio and beyond. Online at buyersbarricades.com.
Well, good stuff, and we're going to continue to talk about that in a week away. That's incredible. All right, we are late for a break. We got to take that thing right now. Coming up next, though, bad news for that former mayor of Louisiana. We'll tell you what happened when we continue here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. First, I got to tell you about my good friends at Stevens Roofing. Love talking about them. Great family, great people. It's just a great local company. A company that's been in business here since 1983. And really, that should tell you all you need to know about the reputation and the quality of work that the folks at Stevens Roofing do. And now they've added solar to what they do. So if you've been thinking about solar panels, and I know a lot of you have, putting some solar panels up on your house, save a little money. Call Stevens Roofing and Solar, 210-785-0994. Let them help you put a plan in place, exactly what you want to do and your vision, and they'll make it come true. If you think there's something wrong with your roof, maybe you've seen something that doesn't look right and you want to get it checked out, Stevens Roofing and Solar is the company you need to call. They'll send a crew out to your house. They'll inspect your roof for free, and they'll let you know if anything's up there is off kilter or whatever the case may be, and they'll get it taken care of for you. Look, they're the best in the business. Why would you want to deal with anyone else? Stevens Roofing and Solar, 210-785-0994, or you can get them online at stevensroofing.net.
Riding I-10 with the Blitz. Afternoons 2 to 6, KTFM Floresville, and everywhere at sasportstar.com.
Hi, I'm Dr. Jason Garrett with Arasti. If you're tired of pain slowing you down from a recent injury or something that's been nagging you for years, we can help. At Arasti, we've earned the trust of over 8,000 physicians by delivering fast, lasting pain relief without painkillers or surgery. Our hands-on approach targets the root cause of pain, and most patients see results in just one visit. No referral needed, and it's covered by most insurance plans. So don't wait. Visit Arasti.com. That's AIRROSTI.com. Arasti. We fix pain fast.
The Valero Texas Open is a can't-miss event. Here's your chance to enjoy food, drinks, and the world's best PGA Tour pros as they tee it up at TPC San Antonio. You won't want to miss the unforgettable, unexpected, and winning moments at the Valero Texas Open. Proceeds help us continue a long-standing tradition of giving back to our community. Buy tickets on ValeroTexasOpen.com and join us April 2nd through the 5th.
Do you owe back taxes or have unfiled tax returns? The IRS won't quit until they get your money. Here's great news, fresh from those in the know. Major changes have happened at the IRS. If you owe more than $10,000, you may be eligible for a 99% reduction of what you owe. Haven't filed a return for a while? Their happy clients are talking.
The IRS was going to levy my bank account, but Guardian was able to prevent that and fix all my IRS issues.
Thanks again, Guardian Tax.
Need relief from crushing tax debt? The IRS now has special programs. Guardian Tax knows all about them. Personal or business, this is the fresh new brick you've been hoping for.
We aren't the company you call when you need a hug because you're scared of the IRS. Guardian Tax is the company that wins when you need it most.
Guardian Tax Service is really great to work with. They really help me out. I'd recommend them highly.
Call now for a free confidential consultation. 800-499-1076. 800-499-1076. 800-499-1076.
Running a business means wearing multiple hats. So if you're like me, you probably started out using your personal phone, taking client calls and texts nonstop. As my business grew, I needed something smarter. That's when I switched to Quo, the #1 business phone system. Quo works right on your phone or computer. No carrying 2 phones, no clunky landline, just one easy app you can try for free. Your team can share one number and handle calls and texts together like a shared inbox. Any teammate can jump into the conversation so customers get faster responses. And Quo's AI assistant summarizes your calls and responds to customers 24/7, so you never miss a lead or opportunity. All this starts at just $15 a month. That's basically 2 coffees. You can even keep your current business phone number. Find out why 90,000 businesses trust Quo. No missed calls, no missed customers. Try Quo for free at quo.com/sports. That's quo.com/sports to try Quo free. QUO.com/SPORTS.
San Antonio's Sports Center.
Big trade in the NFL today. The Kansas City Chiefs and the LA Rams have pulled off a massive trade. Chiefs are sending cornerback Trent McDuffie to the Rams in exchange for a 1st, 5th, and 6th this year and a 3rd-round pick in 2027. 5-star linebacker commit Cooper Witten is committed to the Oklahoma Sooners. Cooper Witten is the son of new OU tight ends coach and former Dallas Cowboy great Jason Witten.
Joe Reinagle.
That's the 3rd time in 7 seasons. The San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minix.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Blitzing on a hump day.
This is Jason and Joe's Headline Blitz.
Hump day.
Hump day.
Oh, hope you're having a great hump day out there, everybody. Whatever you're doing, however you're doing it, thanks for spending a little time with us here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. My name is Joe Reinagle. That young man is Jason Minix, and happy hump day, Minix.
It's a good, well, we're all having a good Wednesday, except maybe James Fletcher.
Well, maybe not. He's got a few gremlins in the glass box of fun today.
Dude, he is juggling so many things on the other side of the glass.
He really is. Wait, that's what happens when you become a suit.
Mm-hmm.
You got to juggle. You got balls in the air all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
And then, balls and 2 Richards and all kinds of stuff flying around in there.
What?
2 great dicks.
Thank you, Bob Costas. Reinagle feels your pain.
Yes.
He was referencing Dick Ebersol and Dick Enberg last night during the NBC broadcast, and he knew immediately when he said that, that James Pledger was going to cut that up. And
absolutely, and he did. He did. And Costas knew it right away, and so is everybody else today on any other radio station in this country, having some fun at Bob Costas' expense.
Well, of course.
But a great night for Costas and crew. Last night. Great night for the San Antonio Spurs as well.
Definitely. Good stuff all the way around. Let's do the Headline Blitz.
This is Jason and Joe's Headline Blitz. Brought to you by Novo Brazil Brewery in North Star Mall. 2 guys, 2 opinions, never enough time.
We've been keeping you up to date with that mayor down in Louisiana, former mayor, DeRuyter. I know I'm not saying that right. I can't.
Yeah, but it sounds better, DeRuyter.
I'm sure there's a great Louisiana accent to it near Fort Polk. I've heard from some people that have been stationed at Fort Polk that know exactly where that is, and they tell me that this story is par for the course for that area.
Really?
Yep.
Well, are these two people cousins or what?
I mean, they might be, but the ex-mayor, Misty Roberts, had sex with her 16-year-old son's 16-year-old friend at a drunken pool party. She was found guilty of having sex with the son's friend.
Well, now, was it technically guilty of having sex or raping this young man?
I mean, she was charged with third-degree rape and contributing to the delinquency of a minor.
And she was found guilty.
Yeah, of having sex with a minor.
So, okay.
That's what TMZ is reporting.
All right, well then, for her,
all these specific charges aren't there.
I would assume. Now I'm assuming that that's not as bad as being convicted of third-degree rape.
Well, guilty on 2 felony charges of carnal knowledge of juvenile and indecent behavior with a juvenile. That's legal terms. During the trial, the 16-year-old did testify that he did have sex with her while he was wasted at the pool party.
You weren't that wasted, kid. All right, even a 16-year-old has problems if you're wasted. He wasn't that wasted. You kidding me? He's trying to cover his behind.
It was exposed.
Mom, I didn't want to do it. She made me.
Yeah, well,
whatever.
The text messages between the mayor and the little boy's mom, she faces up to 17 years in prison.
Holy cow.
She will be sentenced on April 17th.
Okay.
So put that in your calendars, kids.
Well, she's going to be doing some jail time for sure. Now, maybe not 17 years, but I have a feeling she's going to prison. Man. Well, I mean, the 16-year-old got a hell of an education that night. That's all I can say. Wasted. Come on, young man.
What?
I mean, just fess up to it, dude. It's like, that was the greatest night of my life.
Well, it was until his mom found out.
Oh, who cares? He had already pleasured himself.
Oh, no, actually, he didn't.
Well, I mean,
she did.
Exactly. So who cares what mom said? Then you just ask for forgiveness.
Dude.
Mom, it was the greatest night of my life.
Can you imagine if you're 16 and your parents catch you? And then you find out that, it was the mayor? It was Stifler's mom?
Dude, I'm not trying to make light of this. I know it's a serious thing.
Really, I can tell from your demeanor.
If I'm that kid's dad,
well,
I'd be taking him in the back saying, that's my boy.
As a girl dad, and you've got 5 girls.
Yes.
You do look at that a little bit differently.
Yes.
I've got friends that, you got a boy and a girl, and, conversations and concerns with the son are a little bit different than with the daughter.
Well, of course.
And girl dads know girls are far worse than guys when it comes to this kind of stuff.
And again, this wasn't a teenage girl. It was a grown woman. So that's why I feel like I have a little more leeway to have some fun with it.
A teenage boy, and you're like, man.
Way to go, son.
You were a lifeguard at a country club and never had that opportunity to make TMZ? You missed out, Ryan Engel.
In my mind, I did that a lot.
Well,
I'm not kidding.
Little Joey was trying.
Wow.
Trying with those older country club ladies.
Wow.
Down in Alice, Texas.
None of them ever got me drunk and
you didn't try hard
had
enough.
Carnal knowledge with me. Holy cow.
Uh-huh. Speaking of sex, Aaron Rodgers is staying in shape. Now, we don't know where he's going to play, if he's going to go back to Pittsburgh. There's some rumors about Minnesota. There are some options for Aaron Rodgers. But he was on with McAfee, and he's staying in shape, but not because he wants to play in the NFL next year.
You're talking about working out. It's like, okay, are you just always going to be like that? Is there a reason? Have you got to that point in your mind? Like, where do you sit on this particular March 4th?
Probably somewhere between you and AJ, I would say. Maybe closer to you. I know you've got a good workout schedule. AJ's like 5 a.m. on the Versa climber in there, I'm not doing that, but no, I'm trying to stay fit. I mean, it's harder when you get older. So you kind of can't take the same amount of time off as you used to. After so many seasons, I would take, a few weeks off, a month and a half. Now, now at 42, just to stay in shape, you gotta kind of always be dialed in on the diet and sleep and the workouts if you want to look the right way. I want this is we're not on ESPN. I mean, it wouldn't matter, but I want to look good. I want my wife to want to me all the time. I look good all the time.
Well, everybody's got to have a reason.
Yeah, it's
and a goal.
Yeah,
Yes?
no, it ain't about the NFL. I'm married, man. I want her to stay interested.
Exactly. Well, good for him. You got to have a goal, something to shoot for. So props to Aaron Rodgers. You won't hear me say that very often. And props to him.
Good Lord.
Do you remember seeing Ace Ventura, the second one? Or did you see The Pet Detective, the first one?
I probably saw them both.
Well, the first one was hilarious, I thought. The second one sucked, but there was a scene in the second one where there is a hippo, a mechanical hippo, that Ace Ventura gets inside.
A rhino, isn't it?
Or rhino, whatever the
well,
hell.
They're
What
different
the hell's
animals.
the difference?
Well,
anyway, that particular rhino machine is for sale.
What?
It's for sale. You can actually buy this thing. They say it's going anywhere from $4,000 to $6,000.
That's it?
Yeah.
For a rhino that was in a movie?
My oldest daughter called me today. She loves Jim Carrey. He's like, he's the guy. And she said, Christmas, I'd love to have that. And I don't know why, because Jim Carrey crawls out of that thing's behind like he's pooping Jim Carrey out. And I'm like, wondering what the hell.
Well, and is your oldest daughter?
Yes.
The one in Colorado?
Yes.
I mean,
she's in love she loves Jim Carrey. Always has.
Things are legal there. So you're going to get her a rhino for Christmas?
No.
It's only $5,000.
$5,000, sure. Yeah.
When was the last time she said, Daddy, I need you to buy me something?
It's been a long time.
She has saved up all the goodwill for one big rhino.
Yeah, well, ain't happening. So I'll get her a rhino, but it won't be that one.
Oh, come on. Don't be cheap.
It's got to be a little rhino.
Don't be cheap.
I can go to the San Antonio Zoo. I bet I can buy a little plastic rhino.
It's not the same.
Well, it's not.
If she is a Jim Carrey fan,
a hell of a lot
and your
cheaper.
little girl who has made you a grandpa wants a rhino, you get her the damn rhino.
Sure. I'll look into that. That make you feel better?
I want you to buy it for her.
I don't know how.
What do you mean you don't know how?
I don't know where it is.
Well, there's a whole article, and there's a link where you can find it.
Dude, that movie sucked.
Yeah,
it was awful.
But it's so bad, everybody thought the rhino was in the first movie anyway, because it was the only good scene in the second one. Most people think it was in the first one.
No, nobody thinks that.
Look, if that's what your daughter wants, get her the damn rhino.
Nobody thinks that.
I mean,
the first one was outstanding.
We should have a poll. Should Rhino buy? Should Rhino? Was that ever your nickname? It should have been.
No.
It was probably your brother's. He's much bigger. He spent more time in the gym. Rhino, you should buy the rhino. Get it for Christmas.
Sure. I'll look into that. Did I mention that was $4,000 to $6,000?
Don't be cheap.
I am being cheap.
Don't be cheap.
Dude, I can do a lot of things. I can take that to Vegas and double it.
See, it's I've seen you or not.
I'm not buying the rhino. Or $4,000 to $8,000. It says between $4,000 to $8,000.
All right, that's fine.
Which this guy said way less than I would have guessed. It's a bargain.
It is a bargain
to have a pooping rhino that you can poop yourself out of anytime you want to.
I mean, what rhino doesn't poop?
No, I'm just saying it doesn't poop humans.
Well, I mean, this one might.
Yeah, well, this one does.
And
it has.
Speaking of poopy humans, there is a guy, he had to go on one of those TV judge shows because his ex-wife, she's greedy. So you talk about fortunes in life. Now, Ryan Eagle sent me this clip earlier, and I started watching, and then I couldn't turn away. It was, I mean,
it was really.
You wonder why daytime TV is what it is, and but I started, I read the headline, and there was no article. It was like I got to watch this link, and the woman was, as Joe would say, shiny.
Yes.
The guy was very fortunate to have had that for 7 years, if you know what I mean. Because
he was a lot older than her.
A lot older, and he doesn't look like he could pull that, but she thought he was rich. He wasn't. And when the money ran out, she filed for divorce after 7 years. So their divorce is finalized at noon. And at 12:33, according to the timestamp on the receipt from the convenience store, This guy left his lawyer's office celebrating the fact that he was free of this woman, goes to the convenience store, buys a 6-pack of beer and a lottery ticket. Dude won $20 million on that lottery ticket.
$40 million.
Was it 40?
40.
Oh, 40.
I think it's what they said in court. The headline says 20.
So she wanted, either way, dude became a millionaire 3.5 hours after his divorce got final.
Which is perfect timing, by the way.
Because she thought she was entitled to half of that.
Uh-huh.
And the judge said no. And even she was trying to make up, well, those numbers are significant to our life. And he was like, I don't know, it was a quick pick. And it was, because the receipt was there. And the judge even said, lady, I'm a woman. I'd like to side with you. I can't. You're not entitled to a penny of this.
Nope. The divorce was final, and you were no longer married.
Dude hit the lottery twice.
The guy could have slid her $1 million or something. But, I mean, she seems like quite the cuckoo, if you know what I'm talking about. And so I don't blame him.
No, I wouldn't have given her a nickel. I mean.
Well, this dude even filed a countersuit.
Yeah,
looking
for $2,500 to try cover his lawyer fees. And the judge said, no, you just want a whole lot of money. You're fine. So he didn't get that, and he didn't really care. And then afterwards, you know how they do the interviews? Afterwards, she was like, I can't believe the judge didn't. She could have given me, $500,000, something.
Yeah.
But no.
Nothing.
She wanted half of that money. She thought she was entitled to it.
Yeah.
Because even though the divorce was finalized at 9, she thought, was it really final? It was.
It
Good
was.
for that guy.
Dude just wanted to go watch a game, drink some beer, and he just happened to buy a
hit the lottery
hit the
twice.
lottery.
Twice. Won and kept her from getting half of it.
That's perfect. Good job, buddy. And she was pissed.
Mm-hmm.
She was pissed.
Mm-hmm.
We got a lot more to do on this Wednesday edition, this hump day edition of the Blitz, and we'll do that when we continue, including, I hate politics.
Here we go.
The people of Mississippi are stupid. Can I just say that?
No.
I'm saying it. They're stupid. I'll tell you why when we continue here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
The Headline Blitz is brought to you by Novo Brewery, San Antonio's newest sports watching destination with over 80 feet of video walls, 60 craft beers, and hard kombucha on tap. A full bar and delicious menu. Novo Brewery is attached to North Star Mall and open late hours. San Antonio's newest sports headquarters is Novo Brewery. We're talking over 80 feet of massive video walls, a lineup of craft beers, and hard kombucha on tap. Novo Brewery, juicy, thick-cut ribeye steaks, picanha prime sirloin, Brazilian empanadas, stacked burgers, and more. Novo Brewery, built for fans, friends, and full-on game day energy. Novo Brewery attached to North Star Mall with late hours. Check out the menu and taps at novobrew.com. That's novobrew.com.
An accident can leave you struggling to pay for medical bills. At Thomas J. Henry, we believe you deserve justice no matter your financial situation. That's why you don't pay us unless we win your case. Thomas J. Henry, the name you know, the firm you trust. San Antonio, Texas.
Billy, your gas light's on. We need to stop and fill up.
No way, Jen. Gas around here is too expensive. We can make it a little further.
Billy, listen to your big sister. You don't need to drive all over searching for the lowest gas prices. Do what I do and use Upside.
Upside?
Do you live under a rock, Billy? Upside is the hottest cash back app out there. It's free to download, and you get real cash back for every gallon of gas you buy. Top users make between $200 to $300 per month.
You can make that kind of cash back just for buying the gas you have to buy anyway?
Yes, I'm looking at the Upside app now, and there's a gas station at the next exit offering 25 cents per gallon cash back.
Okay, I'm stopping to download Upside and fill up my tank. Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code GOOD25 to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, to PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code GOOD25 for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code GOOD25 for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
I'm Boomer Esiason. My mom died from cancer. She was only 37 years old. She didn't have life insurance, and that was devastating for my family. That's why having life insurance is so important to me. Ethos makes it fast and easy. Get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. You can get up to $3 million in coverage with no medical exam.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/play. That's ethos.com/play.
Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Jackson Hewitt knows taxes are complicated, and with multiple jobs and tax forms, they're like Sonata complicated. Our no surprise pricing keeps things simple. Jackson Hewitt does your taxes for only $149 or less. And since we know all the new tax codes, you could get thousands back. So what are you waiting for? Hurry. File with Jackson Hewitt today for only $149 or less, guaranteed. Limited time offer for new clients on federal returns. Participating locations only. Terms at jacksonhewitt.com/149.
This is the story of the one. As a procurement manager for a hospital system, she keeps every facility in her network stocked and ready. That's why she counts on Grainger to be her single source for thousands of products, from disinfectants to lighting, air filters, and more. And with fast, dependable delivery, Grainger helps her keep every facility stocked, safe, and running smoothly. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Stars Spring Golf Classic is back. Round up your foursome, your work crew, your weekend golf buddies, even the ladies, and get ready for a fun, laid-back day at the Golf Club of Texas. Monday, March 30th. Lock in a team for just $500 for a foursome, or jump in solo for $150 per player and spend the day talking trash, crushing drives, and laughing your way around the course. This isn't a stuffy golf club tournament. It's golf the way it should be. The Spring Golf Classic benefits feeding animals at no-kill shelters across Texas, so you're having a great time for a great cause. Presented by Flight by Yingling and sponsored by Jesse Hernandez, the Texas Chunk Club, PPL Motorhomes, and Ancira Auto Group. And when the last putt drops, the day is just getting started. Join us for the after party at the 90 Proof Bar at Lucky Ranch Road and Highway 90. Cold drinks, great food, and all the post-round storytelling you can handle. So pick your team, claim your spot, and tee up with San Antonio's Sports Star. Sign up your foursome now at sasportstar.com.
I'm AJ Hoffman from the Morning Huddle. Join me and Rob Thompson tomorrow morning at 6. Your early morning wake-up call on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Back here on a Wednesday. Hope everybody's having a good Wednesday. We appreciate you guys stopping by here and spending a little time with us on the Blitz, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I'm Joe. He's Jason. You know, it was Election Day yesterday for us, primary in Texas. Apparently, there was some stuff going on in Mississippi, too, although this wasn't an election. It was just the House of Representatives. Jason, I this whole NIL thing bugs the crap out of me. I mean, it really does.
Anybody that's listened to this show knows that.
Well, the Mississippi House of Representatives passed a bill to make NIL earnings non-taxable. Now, that doesn't preclude them from federal taxes, but state taxes in Mississippi they will not have to pay. And that pisses me off.
So in what they are trying to do is level the playing field with other SEC type teams. So apparently in Mississippi, if you make more than $10,000, you have to pay a 4% tax on top of your federal taxes.
Right.
There's no state income tax in Texas or in Florida. So if a player is deciding between, say, A&M and Ole Miss, and the dollars are the same, for tax reasons, it's going to make more money at Texas A&M.
True.
And Ole Miss has just eliminated that.
Well,
Ole Miss. The state of Mississippi has helped their university.
So for Ole Miss and Mississippi State.
Yep.
And so it helps them. And I would say especially Ole Miss at this point in time. But I mean, just think about it. Just sincerely think about it. If you're a teacher or a firefighter or a police officer or a garbage man or a Subway sandwich shop maker, they still have to pay taxes. Why do football players, and I'm a big sports fan, I want football players to get all they can get, and I want it to be successful. However, that to me just reeks of BS.
I mean, it does. But, again, part of the problem with the NIL is every state has a different set of rules. That's the one. I mean, how many of us ever want more government oversight? But this is the one time where every state needs to have the same rules for how they're going to handle this. And the only way to do that is if the federal government gets involved, because various states have altered state laws to help out their universities' athletic departments. And Mississippi is now doing the same thing. And what they're doing, while it feels wrong on every level, and you're right, if you are, a radio host in Mississippi, you're going, well, I get taxed. Why aren't these guys getting taxed? Or any other job. But again, when you look at it, if you're that same employee in Mississippi but a huge fan of Ole Miss football, you're probably happy about this because that is a disadvantage that you did have that now you don't have. And if that helps your football coach go get that player when he's trying to decide, then you've accomplished something.
Which, again, is the whole problem with all of this, because this pay for play, which is what college football is and college athletics in general, and we should just start calling it what it is. It's professional football.
Carson Beck hadn't been in a class in 2 years. That's what he said.
It's professional football. It's what it is. And so, now I understand, and I think it's tomorrow, that they're having the big meeting at the White House. With Saban and a few others. I think Mac Brown's going to be there and a few others. So to try and figure out what they're going to do about this thing. But as slow as the federal government goes on everything, I mean, it's going to be 2 or 3 years before they come up with a solution to this thing. This just irritates the hell out of me. And I guess I understand it when you put it in those terms, but come on. We're way out of hand here.
All of us that aren't involved in it have said that it's not sustainable and it's out of hand. Yet, the amount of money continues to grow. Cody Campbell spent all that money. Texas Tech got into the playoffs. He wasn't disappointed. He said, we're going to double down. We got a little taste of it. Now we have an idea of what we need to spend. We're going to spend more. And at some point, you're going, well, when? Indiana, it worked for them. I mean, never a football school. Last 2 years, look at what they've been able to do. And who knows if that will ever slow down for them. If you spend your money on the right guys, you can buy yourself a team. There are a lot of problems in college athletics, a lot of them. But when is it going to slow down? And all of us say that it's not sustainable, yet the numbers continue to grow. And I'll go back to something that G.J. Kinney said when he first got to San Marcos a couple of years ago. What was 5,000 last year is 25,000 this year. Well, as long ago as he said that 25,000 is now probably 150,000. Where Jeff Traylor was looking pretty good a couple of years ago. If that budget hasn't grown significantly, he's not looking good now because all these other schools have been able to get more and more money. And there's a big thing today at the University of Arkansas. They are probably going to start becoming players because, well, they just signed a significant partnership with Tyson Foods. Now, Tyson was already donating a lot of money, and I'm going to guess that they have donated even more because now they are the official protein of the Arkansas Razorbacks. Logo placement on fields and courts across all sports venues. So they didn't buy just football. They bought the entire university's athletic department. Their logo is going to be on a court or a field wherever they are. The press conferences on the backdrops, their logo is going to be there. All their broadcast facilities, and they've got brand ambassador programs for certain student athletes. So I guess they're going to be doing chicken nugget commercials and social media posts. I can only imagine what Tyson Foods is now spending at the University of Arkansas. That's a sponsorship deal that feels like, while the numbers weren't released, millions of dollars to have the backdrop on all the media and your logo on every field and court that they have.
And uniform patches. They're going to have patches on the uniforms as well. It's unbelievable. Look, that's what colleges have to do. And if you've got a big, corporate or big business like that in your backyard, I mean, Memphis has FedEx, who donates a lot of money to that program. And so if you're fortunate enough to be in a place like that, then you're going to be a hell of a lot better off than a lot of people. Or have a Cody Campbell rolling around Texas Tech who doesn't seem to give a damn about writing $1 million checks. It's unbelievable.
And we're going to get to a point where, because even like as we bring it back in, if you're watching on YouTube, you see the Longhorn helmet, the Red Raider helmet, the Aggie helmet, and the Roadrunner helmet. And you got 3 halves and UTSA. At some point, Jeff Traylor's going to have to get one of those. And not just Jeff Traylor, but places like UTSA, because it kind of feels like at some point it's going to be too rich for some to even compete, and it's almost going to feel more like club or AAU. You get some of those, select baseball teams that, have all the money in the world and they're the ones that win versus the ones that, are using borrowed shoes. And it's just unfortunate that it's not about recruiting talent anymore. It's about, and that part is still important, but it's more about who can pay you the most for your services.
Well, and that's exactly it. It's like, recruiting is almost for some players, for the star players, they don't give a damn who the coach is. Who's going to sign that check?
That's it.
I don't give a damn what kind of relationship I have because I'm probably going to be playing at a different school next year. And then the year after that, and the year after that. And then 8 years later, you're still playing college. Don't get me started.
Well, and again, for some of these, I mean, college basketball probably benefiting more than, say, college football, but a lot of guys are going to stay in college basketball a lot longer because they can make more money than if they tried to go play pro, whether be our second-round pick in a G League or in the NBA or G League, or go play in Europe, or stay another year at
X university and make millions.
Yep.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. We'll see what happens, but I don't understand any of it. Speaking of that, you got guys in the NFL who restructuring their contracts to help out their teams.
Wow.
You don't see any Tyson Food logos there, although it doesn't affect
it
the players.
Doesn't affect their money.
They still get paid.
Yep.
We're talking about that. Big trade made in the NFL today. And where's A.J. Brown headed? And how about Kyler Murray? We're talking about all of it. We continue here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
If your energy is low, if you've been gaining weight, your drive isn't what it used to be, might be time for you to check your testosterone so you can start feeling like yourself again. You can do that, and you should do that at Synergenics and Low T Center, where you will get TRT customized to you. You see, Synergenics and Low T Center, they deliver therapies built around you, not a standard protocol. Every treatment plan is customized based on comprehensive lab work, symptoms, what you're telling and to your provider, what he is seeing or she is seeing, and then ongoing adjustments designed to keep the patients optimized safely over time. Unlike telehealth middleman, Synergenics and Low T Center operate as a vertically integrated medical practice. From diagnostics to provider oversight to treatment management and ongoing optimization, where patients receive coordinated care designed for long-term results. You see, they offer medically guided weight loss options as well, and other stuff that will help support recovery, sleep quality, body composition, health, aging, weight management. And right now, Synergenics and Low T Center, the T-test free for men, and for ladies, the hormone test is just $99, so you can save $200 because it's normally $299. Best thing for you to do to feel better, book that initial appointment. Do that online at Synergenics.com or lowtcenter.com.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
Thursday on the Morning Huddle, the Spurs back in town and back in action, taking on the Pistons.
Franchise tags have been laid, and now it's time to go find free agents. Where are the Cowboys looking? What's going on with the Texans? And oh my goodness, college basketball is getting serious. It's going to be a fun day. Get here early. Party starts at 6.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson. Morning 6 to 10 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Hi, I'm Maria.
Garcia, salon owner. You know the jingle. Now discover the facts about Ozempic, a GLP-1. There's only one FDA-approved Ozempic, made by Novo Nordisk. Learn about the real thing.
Talk to your healthcare professional today. Call 1-833-OZEMPIC or visit Ozempic.com to view the medication guide and to learn more about Ozempic. Semaglutide injection 0.5, 1, and 2 milligrams.
1 in 4 Americans have a disability. I'm one of them. I'm also a working mom who cares deeply about making sure every child with a disability thrives by getting their access needs met. We've got a trusted ally by our side. Easter Seals provides children and families the foundation for lifelong success through early learning programs, skills training, and prep for college and career. That's my Easter Seals. Make it yours. Join us at easterseals.com.
Do you owe back taxes or have unfiled tax returns? The IRS won't quit until they get your money. Here's great news, fresh from those in the know. Major changes have happened at the IRS. If you owe more than $10,000, you may be eligible for a 99% reduction of what you owe. Haven't filed a return for a while? Their happy clients are talking.
The IRS was going to levy my bank account, but Guardian was able to prevent that and fix all my IRS issues. Thanks again, Guardian Tax.
Need relief from crushing tax debt? The IRS now has special programs. Guardian Tax knows all about them. Personal or business, this is the fresh new break you've been hoping for.
We aren't the company you call when you need a hug because you're scared of the IRS. Guardian Tax is the company that wins when you need it most.
Guardian Tax Service is really great to work with. They really help me out. I'd recommend them highly.
Call now for a free confidential consultation. 800-499-1076. 800-499-1076. 800-499-1076.
Move over, Chips. There's a new crunchier MVP in the snack aisle. Enter pork rinds. Southern recipe pork rinds are low-carb, gluten-free, and packed with protein to keep you going. And the flavors, big, bold, crunchy. From sweet barbecue to hot honey, every bite brings that flavor-packed crunch you crave. Grab your favorites today at H-E-B or online at porkrinds.com. Southern recipe pork rinds are your snack time, crunch time hero.
You like saving money, right? We all do. That's why Allstate just lowered the price of car insurance. Not, but wait, there's a catch. Lower. Actually lower. So if you're shopping around or just want to see how much you could save, check Allstate first for a new lower auto rate that could save you hundreds. You're in good hands with Allstate. Not available in every state. Only applicable for new auto insurance business. Rates will vary by several factors, including how you purchase the policy. Potential savings vary. Allstate North American Insurance Company and Affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Welcome to guided meditation. Close your eyes. You're at the beach. The seagulls are calling. You take out your iPhone 16e you got from Cricket and use Apple Intelligence to clean up that selfie you just took. It's a good one. You send it to your friends instantly thanks to reliable nationwide 5G. They're totally jealous. Get iPhone 16e for $49.99 when you switch. Smile, you're on Cricket.
Requires new line on the Supreme Unlimited plan. First service charge and tax due at sale. $25 activation fee. Terms and restrictions apply. Cricket 5G is not available everywhere. See store for details.
Want consistent color for every job? Milo's Pro Rewards members get a 20% paint discount on future purchases after paint annual qualifying spend reaches $3,000. Plus, order eligible in-stock paint and paint supplies by 2 p.m. for free same-day delivery by 8 p.m. Improving is easy at Lowe's. Excludes spray paint and mist tints. More exclusions, terms, and conditions apply. Subject to change. Details at Lowe's.com/terms. Same-day delivery valid in select zip codes. Subject to driver availability. Details at Lowe's.com/same-day delivery.
Back here on the Blitz on a Wednesday afternoon. Hope everybody's having a great Wednesday afternoon. We certainly are. We appreciate you stopping by here, spending some time with us. I'm Joe. He's Jason. And well, the Cowboys making some moves and some other teams in the NFL making some moves, Jason.
It's obviously the tampering period starts, on the 9th? And then the league year starts a week from today, next Wednesday. Cowboys preparing the no surprise news of the day. Dak Tyler and CeeDee Lamb's contracts restructured. They free up a bunch of money. That was expected. No changes. It's not like Dak Prescott's there for another 2 years. It's just how he gets his money.
He gets a lump sum now,
Yep.
right? So he still gets all the money that's owed to him, but just in a different way. So I'm sure Dak, I mean, if you're Dak Prescott, maybe you're pretty happy about that.
Well,
or Tyler Smith or CeeDee Lamb for that matter.
Yeah, either way. So, I mean, you look at it and you go from there. Now, the Cowboys do have to get something done with their kicker, old Brandon Aubrey, because apparently the Green Bay Packers like him. Now, I don't know if they're allowed to talk to him yet because I think that would be tampering. But Brandon Aubrey was talking at an event today up in Dallas.
Don't really have much going at the moment. Just sitting around waiting. So obviously the tender is what the Cowboys have talked about, and it's a good problem to have. It's a good amount of money. It's a big pay raise for me from before, but it's not the ideal for any player. So we'll see what happens. Excited to be in this position.
Again, I think he's going to lose out. I mean, I really do. If they put this tender on him, unless somebody comes in and just is that much in love with Brandon Aubrey and steals him away from the Cowboys, he's going to end up making less money than he would have had he agreed to the reported original contract offer from the Cowboys.
That said, I wonder for how long. I wonder if he gets the tender, which would be less than what the offer was. Whatever the offer was, according to everybody, it would have made him the highest paid kicker in the league. The tender is just under 6. Everybody is speculating that the offer is around 7. But if he doesn't get that other team that's willing to do that, then does he circle back around and take the offer that the Cowboys have on the table? Because it will still be on the table. The Cowboys aren't going to, unless they sign another kicker, they're not going to pull that offer off the table. So ultimately, this is the business side of football where the Cowboys are, all right, we don't have an agreement. We're not letting you hit free agency, so we're going to put the tender on you, but they can still work out a long-term deal. I think ultimately that's what will happen to Brandon Aubrey. And he said, it's a big raise, but it's not ideal because it's only 1 year.
Well, that's true. That's true. And again, though, I guess if you don't ask for it, you'll never get it. He asked for a reported $10 million a year. Cowboys reportedly offered somewhere around $7 million a year, whatever report you happen to read. But with that, and if he signs it, obviously there's going to come some guaranteed money and all of that kind of stuff, and he's going to make out much better. Now, if it's true that the Green Bay Packers have some interest in Brandon Aubrey and come with a contract that, I don't know, maybe Jerry's just not willing to match, the Cowboys will be compensated for that. So that wouldn't be the most horrible thing to happen in the world.
Well, and that's it. That's when you look at it and you say, the Cowboys are going to win in this deal either way. It would suck to lose a Brandon Aubrey. But will the Cowboys be able to go find another kicker that won't be as good? We know that, but almost. The idea that, all right, well, midfield isn't in range anymore. We've got to get to the 38-yard line to be in range. And they have a quote-unquote normal kicker. If this offense is as good as advertised, then if you're Brian Schottenheimer, you kind of lose that insurance. And I do think Mike McCarthy, and to a degree, Brian Schottenheimer fell into the trap of, once they were in the opponent's territory, they kind of let off the gas a little bit because they knew they had 3 points in their back pocket and they didn't want to screw it up.
Well, and that's not a good thing. I mean, think about it. It's not a good thing.
It's not.
The idea is to get 7, not 3. And if you're pulling up and you're being conservative because you feel like you've got 3 points in your back pocket, then you're probably going to lose more games than you're going to win. And I'm just saying.
But I mean, again, you watch all the games like I do. Do you kind of feel like that happened?
Yeah, and it's not good.
I mean, so now granted, I mean, not good, 6, 7, whatever the kids say now. But it was there, and it did feel like they weren't as aggressive as they always needed to be because they had that 3 that they knew was in their back pocket. If you take that away, does that make Brian Schottenheimer or Dak Prescott a little bit more aggressive because they know that they don't have that automatic 3 when they're near midfield?
I hope so. I mean, I really do, and And you're right, and you think back on it, and things did seem to get a little more conservative when they were around midfield. But it shouldn't be that way. I don't care how good your kicker is. I mean, it should not be that way. Your goal should be to score touchdowns every single time.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're doing that, I think you're doing your team a disservice, whether that's Schottenheimer or McCarthy or Dak Prescott or whomever. And so if that changes the mindset, if that is indeed the mindset of the Dallas Cowboys, then to me that's a good thing. I mean, 3 points every time is not going to get you a win.
No.
9 times out of 10.
You can't trade 3s for 7s. But I do think as high-powered as that offense was, and would they finish 1 or 2 in just about every category last year with Brian Schottenheimer?
Yeah.
Yet they didn't make the playoffs. And I think there were some times where they got a field goal and the defense was so wonderful last year they gave up 7. Then they'd get another field goal and give up 7. Now it's 14-6 instead of, and that's, I mean, look, having Brandon Aubrey is a great thing. Losing him would suck, but I do think his presence makes the Cowboys coaching staff, 2 different offensive coordinators, feel like they got a little conservative once they had the 3 in the bag, because every coach will tell you any drive that ends with a kick is a success, whether it's an extra point, a field goal, or a punt, right? As cliche as it is. So once you have the 3, it kind of felt like unless they really needed it, they got conservative.
You're right. And thinking back on it, yeah, that is what happened. So, and just makes that, especially as bad as that defense was last year. I mean, that to me should have said, screw that. 3 points isn't good enough. And I don't care how good your kicker is, it makes no difference. And well, you saw the results. The defense couldn't handle anybody. They're scoring touchdowns. Cowboys are kicking field goals. And, well, there you go. That's why they didn't make the playoffs this year.
And again, I don't know, because I felt like Schottenheimer went for it more on 4th down than, say, McCarthy did. But, at the same time, you see some of these coaches that don't necessarily have the great kicker. They go for it a lot more than teams used to. And now that's analytics also playing a major factor in what teams do now, as opposed to, well, I don't trust my kicker, so let's go for it, and you think about Detroit. There are times where you kind of feel like, well, analytics say go for it, and Dan Campbell's going for it, but, man, the smart play here is kick the field goal, and they've got a good kicker up there in Detroit. What's it, Cam Little in Jacksonville. There are some kickers out there, but also when I look at the free agent kickers, none of them excite you.
I just think some coaches these days are just trying to outsmart themselves and thinking that they can make 4th down, every time they turn around. I think Dan Campbell got caught up in that a little bit, and more so than, relying on a kicker or taking the 3 when he probably should have. I don't know. Brandon Aubrey's probably going to be taken care of. He'll be a Dallas Cowboy most likely the rest of his career, or certainly a large part of it, depending on how long he wants to play. But if that's the case, and the more I think about it, I think you're absolutely right. It shouldn't be the case.
Yeah, I need a decent kicker. I need a good kicker. I don't necessarily need the best kicker.
No.
Because I think that I want my kicker to, I don't know, be kicking more extra points than field goals. But, man, I know as I say this right now in March, on a Sunday afternoon when the Cowboys need a 54-yard field goal to win the game, I don't want to be wondering if this guy's going to make it to the end zone. I like knowing that it's done, right? I like even though he did struggle from 50-plus, I like the automatic feeling that you get when Brandon Aubrey walks out there.
Well, you got to be tied at the end of the game and have a chance to win for that to happen. That didn't happen too often last year.
I mean,
just saying.
Why do you got to be negative?
Well, I'm just telling you. I mean, it didn't happen much last year. I can't remember the Cowboys lining up for a game-winning field goal. I'm sure there was a time.
Well, I mean, they beat the Giants on a game-winning field goal. They tied the Packers on when the Packers game was a game-winning, a game tying, a non-losing. We're not going to lose this game. I mean, he hit some big field goals.
Well, I don't know if that was a field goal, was it?
I don't know.
41 all. And we were there. But we were a little
we were drunk. Ain't gonna lie. Giants game, I know he won.
Okay.
I got video of that.
Uh-huh.
Knew it was going through.
All right. That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I got some sad news. We got some breaking news, Pledge. Very sad news. The former head coach of the Notre Dame Fighting Irish and others, Lou Holtz, has passed away. The age of 89, I believe, was his age. That's just breaking all over the place right now. I know he'd been sick and all of that, but Lou Holtz was one of those guys that he was a character, right? You associate him with Notre Dame. I know he coached Arkansas too, but he's always going to be a Domer as far as I'm concerned. And good guy, and that's sad news, but obviously a good life, 89.
An incredible life, and, man, I can only imagine what the last couple of months have been like, because there were reports several weeks ago that he wasn't with us anymore, and his son was like, he's still here. We don't know for how much longer, but, all the fake news on the internet, you start seeing this come across and like, all right, I need to see this from more reputable places, just because the internet sucks sometimes.
Well, it does. TMZ is reporting on this.
Then it's official.
That I'm reading. The guy in North Carolina State, Arkansas, Minnesota, South Carolina. But again, I couldn't remember all those teams. But you're always going to remember Notre Dame, because that's where he made his bones.
Yep.
And was very successful with the Fighting Irish. So Lou Holtz has passed away at the age of 89. Rest in peace, Coach. That's for sure. We got a lot more to do here on the Blitz, and we'll do it when we continue. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Nobody ever plans on getting arrested, but it does happen to a lot of people every day for all kinds of reasons. If you get arrested, you want to get out of jail fast. Best way to do that? Call my good friend Albert and his great staff at AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. Text BAIL to 474747. Or you can start the bonding process online at mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else to get out of jail, and you don't want to be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you a PR bond, make sure you truly understand what those conditions are before accepting it. Your best option for stress-free bail bonds is AA Best Bail Bonds. Nobody beats their price. They offer payment plans, have a free shuttle service. Of course, they are discreet and confidential and open 24/7 with offices all over San Antonio and Texas, services nationwide. So if you're up in Dallas, down in Corpus, anywhere in between, license number 149, call AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121, or go online at mybestbailbonds.com.
Riding I-35 with the Blitz. Afternoons 2 to 6, KTFM Floresville, and everywhere at sasportstar.com.
I'm U.S. Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy. We all seem to be in a rush these days, from work to driving our kids around. But when you're behind the wheel, please do not speed. A few minutes saved by going faster is never worth the risk. So follow the speed limit, enjoy the drive, maybe bring some snacks for the kids, and know that along the way, you're getting quality time with your family.
Paid for by NHTSA.
Hi, I'm Maria, salon owner. You know the jingle. Now discover the facts about Ozempic, a GLP-1. There's only one FDA-approved Ozempic made by Novo Nordisk. Learn about the real thing.
Talk to your healthcare professional today. Call 1-833-OZEMPIC or visit Ozempic.com to view the medication guide and to learn more about Ozempic. Semaglutide injection 0.5, 1, and 2 milligrams.
Hey, this is Rob Thompson here with my good friends from Prize Picks. I've got a little hint for you. I want you to go download Prize Picks right now. And if you remember the code Alamo, you're going to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Remember, that's code Alamo, and you'll get $50 in lineups. That's just from me to you. Now, let's talk about why you want to go get on Prize Picks, because right now is the best time to play Prize Picks, because the season's meat is there. We know what the teams are doing. We know who's going to get more or less. Now go capitalize. As college ends up, as the NBA pros head toward the playoffs, you know that that Wemby's trending up. You know that Steph Castle's trending up. You know that certain guys are trending down. Now's the time to go play. So when you're playing basketball and you are winning, remember what Prize Picks does for you? If they start out fast, you can go ahead and cash out before the game's even over. That's why I love Prize Picks. Also, you got good picks? Share them on social media. They're going to help you do that. Prize Picks is fantastic because being right is good, being right more is better, but man, it feels so good to be right.
Running a business means wearing multiple hats. So if you're like me, you probably started out using your personal phone, taking client calls and texts nonstop. As my business grew, I needed something smarter. That's when I switched to Quo, the #1 business phone system. Quo works right on your phone or computer. No carrying 2 phones, no clunky landline, just one easy app you can try for free. Your team can share one number and handle calls and texts together like a shared inbox. Any teammate can jump into the conversation so customers get faster responses. And Quo's AI assistant summarizes your calls and responds to customers 24/7, so you never miss a lead or opportunity. All this starts at just $15 a month. That's basically 2 coffees. You can even keep your current business phone number. Find out why 90,000 businesses trust Quo. No missed calls, no missed customers. Try Quo for free at quo.com/sports. That's quo.com/sports to try Quo free. QUO.com/SPORTS.
You know the Roo Pub is proven to be the best place to watch games with those 3 massive 170-inch screens and TVs all around. All the games, all the fights, and when you show up at the Roo Pub, show up hungry. The food is fantastic. Open daily at 11. Great for lunch, great for dinner, great for late at night, and the best place to watch a game. Just down from the big blind, right next to the Angry Elephant. The Roo Pub, 281 in Redland Road. We'll see you at the Roo.
Trying to keep up with today's fast-changing digital landscape? With more ways to consume content than ever before, it is getting harder to reach your customers. You need more than just a presence. You need the experts at Conrex Digital. We craft websites that convert. We curate engaging content on social and blog channels. We generate quality leads through Google and Meta. We dominate your competition on streaming TV. Bold marketing, real results. Conrex Digital makes it happen. Visit conrexdigital.com. That's conrexdigital.com.
San Antonio's Sports Center.
The Spurs wrapped up their Rodeo Road Trip in style. A 40-point win in Philadelphia. They beat the 76ers 131-91. Devin Vassell, Dylan Harper were fantastic. 22 points apiece. Spurs now return home for a game tomorrow night against the Detroit Pistons. Kansas City Chiefs and LA Rams have pulled off a massive trade today. Chiefs sending cornerback Trent McDuffie to LA in exchange for a first, 5th, 6th this year, 3rd and 27.
Sports Center is brought to you by Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. BuyersBarricades.com.
Joe Reinagel.
That's the 3rd time in 7 seasons. The San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minix.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
On a hump day!
Hump day!
Hump day!
Hump day!
Happy
I
hump
love
day,
that
everybody.
camel.
I sure do. And I love the fact that it is a hump day and we're here on the Blitz. We got lots to do, and the fact that all of you fine folks have decided to join us on this beautiful Wednesday afternoon. Thank you for doing that. I'm Joe Reinagel. He is Jason Minix, and we're halfway home, Minix.
We are.
We are.
Doing well.
Yes.
Hanging in there.
Time flies when you're having fun.
Always.
Living on a prayer.
Always.
Always does.
Are we living on a prayer?
I am.
Perhaps.
But we're halfway there.
Yeah.
We're dancing in women's underwear. Whatever the case is.
What the hell?
Right,
you know,
Albert.
you know what's funny about that is that I don't know what it was, but obviously anytime you can watch Shakira do anything, it's a good day. And I was watching this, and I think it was a concert, like back in 2006.
Uh-huh.
And she's singing her famous song, right? My Hips Don't Lie. And I had no idea what the words. I never knew what the words were.
Mm-hmm.
And so this had subtitles, and I'm like, Rob, damn, really? That's what that said? She wants to make a man speak Spanish, and I mean, I'm like, whoa, I had no clue. So I'm happy that that I was able to learn something today about Shakira and her hips.
So Shakira's dancing on the screen and you're reading? I don't believe you. You can't do two things at once.
Well, I didn't say I only watched it once. I'm just saying I want to know what.
I don't care how many times you watched it. You didn't read a damn thing.
Well, I did.
Who was reading to you?
No, I actually did. I was reading because I didn't know that's what the words.
There
and I'm
are
like,
so many songs out there.
I'm like, what the hell?
That you question what are they actually saying?
Absolutely. Right? Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Every Bad Bunny song.
Well, okay.
Sure.
Bad Bunny.
So it was an entertaining day and an educational day.
So you spent an hour watching Shakira,
I didn't say I spent an hour watching. I just said that I saw that today. I might have watched it twice, maybe 3 times.
All right, so 7 times.
Well, it was the original music video that came out when that song was popular, and I think they said 2005, 2006, one of the two.
Sure.
But yeah, I mean, and she was obviously pretty young back then.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't know that some of those words were what they are. I had no clue.
Mm-hmm.
But now I know.
Now you know.
Yeah.
Knowing's half the battle.
It is. I agree.
Again, when you actually read the lyrics, or like on Apple Music, you've got stuff where you can, see what the lyrics are, and like that's not what I thought they said.
No,
that's not. Or you hear someone say, "That's what she's saying," or he's saying.
Exactly.
Oh, really?
Sometimes you just don't know, and there's a lot of songs like that, and people get it wrong. Like a Rocket Man, for example, with Elton John.
Mm-hmm.
How many times have you gotten those words wrong?
Rocket Man?
Rocket Man.
What is he saying?
Well, I don't know what I thought he was saying, but I didn't know this until, Maggie loves that song.
Mm-hmm.
She likes that.
Uh-huh.
And so
she
she knew the words, and I'm like, is that really what he's saying? That's it. Right? I mean, burning up the fuse up here alone. I had no idea what he was saying. I thought it was something completely different.
What does that mean?
That's what he says. Those are the
that's
lyrics.
What he said, but what does he actually mean by that?
Well, he's a rocket man.
Oh, okay.
He's burning up the fuse up here alone.
But what does that mean?
Well,
all these songs have meaning.
The fuse is running out. I don't know. Just saying.
Joe, stop playing with the fuse.
Dude, half the time
yourself.
Half the time these songs, they're just trying to find words that rhyme.
Right?
I mean, it doesn't have to make sense.
They're just trying to rhyme words.
Yes. It doesn't even have to make sense. Well, as long as it rhymes.
Is that what they're doing?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Meaning, subliminal meaning.
I guess. I suppose.
See that? Dave Grohl's just trying to rhyme things.
That's it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Daniel, on our Sports Star YouTube page says I need a hearing aid. I hear just fine, Daniel. I don't understand the words sometimes, and if you tell me you do, I'm not gonna call you a liar, but I'm gonna be very skeptical about what you're telling me. There are so many songs out there you don't know what the hell the words are. Am I right?
Well, sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's all. I was just saying I had no idea what the words were. Maybe I wasn't paying attention to the song when she was singing it. But, I mean, so now I know what the words are. So if I felt like singing along next time, I could do that.
But you've also gotten mad at a band at a concert for singing the wrong song and thinking they were singing the wrong song.
I dispute that.
Well, I know you do.
That's not exactly the truth, I don't believe.
Exactly. The you don't believe part. Everybody around you knew the song they were singing. You had the right band, just the wrong song.
I think that little dude that's trying to be Steve Perry had the wrong words and was trying to help him out a little bit.
See, that's not it. See, now, there was one time that I went to a show at the rodeo, and we were seeing Huey Lewis, although I thought all the songs in my head that we were going to go see were Eddie Money. And then so I'm thinking Eddie Money's catalog, and then I'm like, I didn't know Huey sang that, and it was all Huey Lewis. I just kept waiting for Eddie Money.
Was the News there?
No.
No?
Oh, probably.
Huey Lewis?
Yeah, Huey Lewis in the News.
I used to love Eddie Money. I don't think Eddie Money's with us any longer.
He's not.
He's not, right?
He played back when we had Jack FM. He played one of the Jack Fests way back in the day.
Oh, wow.
And he was there, but I'm not really sure if he was there, if you know what I mean.
I understand.
Yeah,
Sure.
the whole backstage thing was just kind of weird. Although when you roll him out on stage, he was great.
Well,
it's amazing how rock stars can do that.
Yeah, I never saw him live, and I would have liked to have. Big fan of his music when he was, obviously relevant, popular. Still a big fan of his music. Yeah, it brings up, I heard a conversation somewhere, and I can't remember where it was exactly. What is the definition of rock? Like, somebody brought up Journey, and they said, well, they're not really a rock band. They just sing ballads. I mean, is that so? And you're a big rock guy, so you tell me.
Screaming guitars.
So that's rock.
I mean, but again, though, there are so many levels of rock and roll. That's like saying, not all burgers are the same. Not all rock and roll is the
True.
same.
Would you consider Journey a rock band?
Yeah. Although
I always did.
Honestly, if they were coming out today, they'd probably be country. Right? The Eagles would be a country band
Sure, the
today.
Eagles would be, yeah.
But back then, Southern rock. When I worked at KNBT in New Braunfels, I used to think that a lot of that Southern rock would mix well with the Americana. Go from, Leonard Skinner and the Eagles into some Pat Green or Randy Rogers or Cross Canadian Ragweed. That would be a great blend of music. You could get away with that.
Sure.
When but obviously Metallica is rock and roll.
Absolutely.
Anthrax, Disturbed. But that's in the heavy metal side of rock and roll. Dave Grohl and let's say Foo Fighters or Blink-182 or Green Day is more of alt rock. Kind of turn to 103.3 the app, and it's the 90s playlist. It's fantastic.
Yeah, I need to listen to that more often. But back in my day when I used to see Van Halen and
rock and roll
and Styx and well, I know Ted Nugent was for sure. I mean, he was a screaming guitar. Legs Diamond. I used to love them. They opened up usually for Van Halen, or they did a couple of times when I saw them. So there was, that I was curious about that. What considered to be this particular person said that Journey he didn't think was a rock band. I'm like, well,
see, but back in your day, if they needed a haircut, they were probably rock and roll. If they were wearing iron jeans, they were country.
All right, fair enough. Again, country hadn't changed at all. Still wearing iron jeans.
Well,
dude, I used to start.
Some of those guys, are who'd you just see? Russell Dickerson, and you're all mad because he took his shirt off? That wouldn't happen in a country show back in your day.
Well, he's got his wife beater on, and obviously the guy works
again,
out.
Again, man,
so
back in your day, Conway Twitty wouldn't have done that.
No, he wouldn't have. I used to
George Jones
starch my jeans back in the day. You'd have to have them starch and have the crease going down, just like
Start your day with a stiffy.
I'm just absolutely. You get in those jeans, you couldn't move it. You're like the Tin Man walking around. It's
wonder why the Cowboys always walk the way they did.
It's exactly right. But, it used to happen. Used to be part of what I did. Well, I was just curious. Sometimes I do this show just to answer my own questions.
I'm glad you answered your own questions.
Absolutely. San Antonio Spurs answered some questions last night. They certainly did on this Rodeo Road Trip for sure, I think. And I think heading into the stretch run of the playoffs, this team's got to be taken serious. They're certainly getting a lot of national attention. We'll give them a little attention here on the Blitz when we continue on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Hey, I want to talk to you, though, about the Golf Club of Texas. This place is fantastic. With the upgrades that they've made out there, it really does look like a country club. And I mean that for real. If you've been out there, you know exactly what I'm talking about. If you haven't, you need to go check this place out. Now, look, we're getting into the springtime. Golf season is about to be upon us. And, in fact, in San Antonio, it's really never not upon us. We can play pretty much year-round. But you know what I'm talking about. You get your clubs out. You get your golf swing ready to go. Head out to the Golf Club of Texas and look at this place and all the improvements they've made to it. It is just fantastic. It's open 7 days a week. Their staff is fantastic. They will treat you like royalty when you roll up there. They've got a great place to eat as well. The Tin Cup Bar and Grill is a perfect place to either before or after or both. Whatever you're thinking of there, and they've got a full bar out there. They'll make you any kind of cocktail you want. They've got a huge selection of ice-cold beer that you can either drink there at the Tin Cup Bar and Grill or fill up an ice chest and take it with you out on the golf course. That's what we usually do, and well, sometimes that's good, sometimes it's not for our golf game, but we always have a great time out at the Golf Club of Texas. You need to go check it out. Best rates are always online at golfclubtexas.com. It is the Golf Club of Texas, and you know exactly where it is. It's right there off Briggs Ranch Road, off Highway 90. Whether you're headed out for dinner at the Tin Cup or around with your buddies, how about your next tournament? It's where we're having our next tournament. You need to go check them out. Again, best rates always online at golfclubtexas.com. The Golf Club of Texas is the friendliest golf course in Texas.
Mellow Mushroom has the best pizza in San Antonio. Mellow delivers the best pizza experience with their delicious dough, premium ingredients, and unique flavors. Delivering a higher order of pizza is the standard. If Mellow can make a pizza this delicious, imagine what they can do with munchies, greens, calzones, and burgers. Mellow Mushroom has San Antonio's best happy hour with food specials and half-off adult beverages. Mellow Mushroom is at 1604 in Stone Oak Parkway. Hang with friends, watch the game, and mellow out at Mellow Mushroom.
You like saving money, right? We all do. That's why Allstate just lowered the price of car insurance. Not, but wait, there's a catch. Lower. Actually lower. So if you're shopping around or just want to see how much you could save, check Allstate first for a new lower auto rate that could save you hundreds. You're in good hands with Allstate. Not available in every state. Only applicable for new auto insurance business. Rates will vary by several factors, including how you purchase the policy. Potential savings vary. Allstate North American Insurance Company and Affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
That pallet of pavers collecting dust? The beginnings of a garden? Those stray fence posts? Are you haunted by half-finished projects on your land? John Deere is here to say, not anymore. Our compact tractors allow you to swap implements easily, and they're backed by the nation's largest dealer network. You always had the right idea, and with the right tools, those projects can get finished for good. Nothing runs like a Deere. Learn more at johndeere.com/compact tractors.
This is the story of the one. As a procurement manager for a hospital system, she keeps every facility in her network stocked and ready. That's why she counts on Grainger to be her single source for thousands of products, from disinfectants to lighting, air filters, and more. And with fast, dependable delivery, Grainger helps her keep every facility stocked, safe, and running smoothly. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Hi, my name is Jason Thompson. For the past 32 years, I've represented San Antonians injured in auto accidents. I'm a second-generation attorney here in town. My father, Bob Thompson, has practiced law here in San Antonio for more than 50 years, and I learned how to practice law from him. I learned what it means to be asked to represent a client and the tremendous honor and obligation that comes with being someone's attorney. And here's what that means for you. If you call my office, I will be the one you speak to. I will be your attorney, not a staff member or a junior lawyer. 2, I have one rule in my office. If my client's happy, I'm happy. 3, relationships. A good one is built on communication, honesty, and time. I like talking to my clients. They're the only reason I go to work every day, and each is very special and very much appreciated. If you or a family member has been injured in an auto collision, please call me. My name's Jason Thompson. My number is 210-900-0400. That's 900-0400. Or you can go to my website, alawyerforus.com.
I love my Connecticut water softener. Dave here, and yes, I own a Connecticut. Other water softeners just can't measure up. So if your old unit keeps breaking, leaking, or burning through salt, stop paying for frustration. A Connecticut doesn't run on electricity. It powers itself using your water flow and only cleans itself when needed, not on a timer. And Connecticut backs its efficiency claims with independent testing through the Water Quality Association. Connecticut protects your plumbing and appliances. It helps dishes and fixtures stay cleaner and leaves your skin and hair feeling better. And right now, with the purchase of a Connecticut, you receive a free reverse osmosis drinking station at your kitchen sink. For clean, pure water 24/7, call Connecticut of San Antonio and the Hill Country, 210-656-PURE, and tell them Dave Ramsey sent you.
ConnecticutSA.com.
License number 38961.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
Thursday on the Morning Huddle, the Spurs back in town and back in action, taking on the Pistons.
Franchise tags have been laid, and now it's time to go find free agents. Where are the Cowboys looking? What's going on with the Texans? And, oh, my goodness, college basketball is getting serious. It's going to be a fun day. Get here early. Party starts at 6.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson. Morning 6 to 10 on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star. It's the Blitz with Jason and Joe.
A little ice, baby. Is that what that is?
I think this is Under Pressure.
Oh, sounds like ice, baby. Play ice, baby. It sounds the same way. Little Vanilla Ice. Stop, collaborate, and listen. It sounds just the same. I don't know why y'all are laughing. So either Vanilla Ice stole that intro or those people did.
Queen?
Yeah.
Well, one of them came out in the 90s.
Well, then it was Vanilla Ice.
All right, pull up a little Vanilla Ice.
It's similar. It's called a sample.
It
It's
is
not the
similar,
same.
right? It's very similar.
Uh-huh.
So I'm just thinking, all right, that was, what's his name, Rip Van Winkle? What was that dude's name?
Rob. Robbie.
Robbie Van Winkle?
Yeah. From Farmers Branch, Texas.
How about that?
Uh-huh.
Well, hey, dude made a lot of money off of that song,
He
that's
did.
for sure.
He did.
Unbelievable. Oh, my goodness. Did you watch the Spurs game last night?
Of course.
I did too. It wasn't much of a game. First quarter it was, I guess. The Spurs got out to a lead. Philly came back and closed the gap, I think, to 1. They might have even taken the lead.
No, they never led.
Never did. Okay, so then it was all Spurs after that. So it was a fun game to watch. Dylan Harper really I think, you got Devin Vassell. He's been playing well lately, but to see Dylan Harper have the type of game that he had last night, I thought was pretty cool.
Well, and again, I mean, Dylan Harper did have a great game. Wemby afterwards talking about Dylan Harper's growth this season.
Yeah, Mitch too was an award, but seeing Dylan develop his game, I have zero doubt that if there was a redraft today, we would take him. He's so good, so composed. I know, obviously, we're stacked at the guard position, but I'm so happy that Dylan's super young and can be there for years and years because I want to share the court with him for as long as possible.
Now, wait a second. Did I hear that right? So Wemby says if the draft was held again, redraft, that Harper would be number 1?
Well, of course he's going to say that about his teammate. Because maybe he wants to play with Cooper Flagg. No, I'm kidding.
Well, I mean, seriously, come on.
But I mean, what do you expect him to say?
Well, I don't say anything because it's just not true. And I get what he's saying. And Dylan Harper may turn out to be better than Cooper Flagg in the long. I don't think so, but I mean, it played out just exactly how it should have played.
He was really good against a bad team.
Yes,
but he's been really good this year. I mean, Harper has been. I mean, and again, if it was a draft that didn't include a Cooper Flagg, he might have been the 1 overall pick. I mean, that's just the reality of it. The Spurs are deep. Harper with 22 last night. Vassell had 22 last night. And one of the concerns we had going in, now granted, we know Philadelphia is bad and extremely shorthanded. The fact that they did not let that Knicks loss turn into 2 losses. And Mitch Johnson talked after the game that, I mean, this team has been really good at responding after a bad game.
Yeah, I think, up until this moment in the season, one of the things I've been most proud of our group and most happy with those guys, because it's them, is their competitive response. And typically when we've had some adversity, whether that's unique lineups, haven't played well, someone got the better of us, maybe whether it's the prior game or in a stretch, we typically have bounced back, and I think that's a testament to their character and competitiveness.
I totally agree, and they did bounce back. And look, they knew that the Sixers were shorthanded, and it didn't matter. They came out and were aggressive anyway and played to win. And then, I mean, the final score speaks for itself, a 40-point blowout win.
They were up
in
at one
Philadelphia.
point by 49.
Yeah. So that's what they're supposed to do to a team that is bad. You don't let them hang around. You just squash them as quickly as you can. And that's exactly what they did yesterday. And I think it was a great response after a very subpar game in Boston on Sunday.
And quite frankly, it was unwatchable. It got to the point where the only reason I was watching, and it stayed on the main TV and didn't go to the smaller TV in the living room for the hockey game, Stars Cruise last night, by the way, was because I was loving what I was seeing from the NBC throwback broadcast. James Pledger might have said it best. I didn't know I needed that. That was fantastic. Well done by NBC. From the graphics to the crew, hell, even the open last night. Hard to hear that without Back to Why laugh. That's an earworm that won't go away.
This is the NBA on NBC. Tonight, the San Antonio Spurs visit the Philadelphia 76ers.
The 90s
announcer. Presented by Kia.
A cold, rainy night in the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia. The city where American democracy was born 250 years ago, and hence the name of this city's NBA team, the 76ers, who tonight play host to the San Antonio Spurs. It's game one of NBC's Coast to Coast Tuesday, which tonight is also Throwback Tuesday, as we welcome you to Xfinity Mobile Arena. Hi, everybody. I'm Bob Costas with Coach Doug Collins, four-time All-Star with the 76ers, former NBA Coach of the Year, the guy that Marv dubbed the czar of the telestrator, Mike Fratello. So it's Throwback Tuesday. We put the old band back together. We got the band back together, at least for one night.
Got the band back. And look, I loved it because it brought back some great memories from the 90s and when NBC was king of the NBA. And they did it, and they did it right, and it was always very entertaining to watch. And Bob Costas was outstanding, and so I thought it was great last night.
It was fun, and again, I didn't know how much I would enjoy that throwback, and it had its moments. I love some of the stories they were telling. I had forgotten, Doug Collins was on that Olympic team, and they left their silver medals in the ball. Screw you, I don't want them. Right? I mean, just so many good stories. The czar and his rug. Just all of it was good. And, then they're paying tributes to names that maybe you hadn't thought of in a long time. At one point, they were talking about Dick Ebersol and Dick Enberg.
Kelly graduated that weekend.
Kind enough to let me see Kelly graduate.
And I worked that one with you guys, too. I think you said Enberg.
Oh, yeah.
Two great Dicks. D-E-T. Someone's going to cut that off, and it's not going to sound right.
Don't say cut it off.
It's not going to sound right. Two great Richards, known as Dick, with the last name beginning with an E. Two D-Es.
Yes. And thank you, Dick Ebersol.
Yes. And thank you, whoever edits that out. Fox for 3, trying to change the subject.
In this day of social media, good luck, Coach Scott.
Oh, I'm toast.
Yeah, that's going to live on for a long time. I promise you, Bob. That's
Two great Dicks.
Both of those guys, certainly Dick Enberg, the guy was fantastic. He was one of the best in the business.
Well, I thought last night was great. It was funny. Bob Costas is just so damn good at what he does.
Yeah.
I mean, as great as Mike Tirico is, and again, Costas, a solid play-by-play guy, only got that chair because, well, last night Marv Albert wasn't available, but, Boy, he was glad that didn't happen during the TMZ social media days, but that allowed
little
Bob
panty
Costas to move over to
fetish.
the play-by-play chair for a while,
He
right?
He liked women's panties.
He did, and he bit somebody. I
Little
mean,
Oscar De La Hoya thing.
yeah, well, I mean, but again, you think about all those great voices in today's world with so many different channels, so many different services. I don't know that we have enough of those great announcer teams that if they're there, that's, I mean, big time. I mean, Tirico certainly is in there, Joe Buck and Troy Aikman, but you go back to when you were a kid, college football, you heard Keith Jackson.
Oh, man.
Nelly, that was the big game.
Yeah, absolutely.
With obviously for those that are no longer with us, it's impossible. And good Lord, don't anybody think AI can give me a Madden Summerall game, although it's possible. But that would be too freaky. But what other throwback sports would work that way? Whether it's a baseball game with, say, John Miller on Sunday Night Baseball. I'm a huge hockey fan. Doc Emmerich, who isn't that far removed from being the national voice of hockey. In Canada, it's Non Cherry, but in America, it was Doc Emmerich calling so many great games. But are there others that you go, you know what? I'd love to hear those guys doing a game together again.
Oh, absolutely, especially when you're talking about Madden and Summerall.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh, I would love to see that again and hear that again. And you're right, AI can't even do that justice. It's just
No.
you just can't. And so, it's funny because the game, the product on the floor was nothing like a throwback.
No.
So you go back to the 90s when NBC had the NBA. It was a totally different game back then, more physical. Hell, when they show the Memorial Day Miracle, did you notice the final score?
Yeah.
It was in the 80s.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, you just don't have that anymore.
Spurs had 78 at halftime last night.
Exactly. So you don't see that kind of stuff, and that was typical. You scored 100 points, teams back in the 90s, early 2000s. You had a hell of an offensive output, and it just didn't happen. Now it's a different ball game with all the three-pointers flying and all that stuff. So, for NBC to do that, I would love for CBS to do that, and I think they had something similar to that with Brent Musburger not too long ago. But
and then the Halloween pledge, they had all the announcers dressing up like 80s or 90s broadcasters because J.J. Watt took it to a different level.
Yeah, they did, but they also did the graphics and everything for CBS Sports that day, too. They kind of did a very retro throwback, very similar to this on CBS during the football season.
So but I don't know who the hell's still alive. I mean, Musburger is, but Jimmy the Greek's not.
No.
And but Irv Cross is not.
You think about the nostalgia, the throwback, like Vern Lundquist hasn't been retired long enough to come back and do a throwback, right? Or has he?
He's great. He can come back anytime he wants.
But that's what I mean. I'm trying to think of, for those that are still alive, I mean, Al Michaels is going to continue to work until he's not with us anymore.
Yeah.
I just don't ever imagine that, so I'm Joe Buck going back and doing a little baseball.
Oh, man.
And he's not that far removed from doing baseball, although now that he is at ESPN, he's not.
I'd love to hear his dad come back and do baseball. Look, as good as Joe Buck is,
sure,
he's not a pimple on his daddy's butt.
Oh, wow.
He's not.
You went there.
I mean, in terms of throwback broadcasts, I say bring back the old school Sports Center with the logos and the...
Well, they did that with Rich Eisen when Rich Eisen came back to the ESPN family, and that was cool. But I mean, based on, recent events, I don't think you're going to see Keith Olbermann and Linda Cohn teaming up to do Sports Center anytime soon. Although
nobody likes Keith Olbermann.
With their new relationship with wrestling, they could be in a cage-style match for some WWE deal.
Yeah.
David Macias is Joe Buck and Tim McCarver. I mean, I think that would be great.
Yeah, I mean, Harry Carey and Steve Stone is mentioned on our Sports Star YouTube page. So
again, that's the thing. NBC could pull this off. Most of that crew still with us, still coherent, and still damn good at what they do.
I guess Marv Albert's not doing well because I think he would have been there.
Well, they brought it up, and they did indicate there's a potential that he could do something later.
And look, Marv Albert was damn good.
Oh yeah,
very good at what he did. And so, that's really cool. And if you look at besides, I don't know, is there a handful of guys? And I think you touched on this when we started this segment. I don't know if there are announcer groups now that that it's a huge game.
Like John Miller and Joe Morgan doing baseball. You knew that was huge.
That was huge. Madden and Summerall. That was the primary game on CBS, and then of course they moved over to Fox. But that was the primary game on that Sunday afternoon. David Macias is mentioning Kirk Gowdy.
Yeah. Well, and I know not a lot of hockey fans here, but Tom Mees and Gary Thorne back in the day. I mean, and Tom Mees. I mean, such a legendary hockey broadcast, and he drowned in his backyard pool. It's like, what? I mean, but I do think, we all grew up listening to the national TV broadcasters, and I do think it's because there were so few channels and so few games on. Growing up, if you're an Aggie fan, a Longhorn fan, and Ron Franklin was doing the games on Raycom Sports. You knew that was big, at least for the regional and the old Southwest Conference games. I mean, the fact that, we've gotten to know Brad Cham personally over the years because of our work with the Dallas Cowboys, but growing up, you're listening to Brad Cham and Milo Hamilton with the Houston Astros.
Well, see, I go back a little farther than Milo. Gene Elston.
Yeah.
I used to fall asleep listening to the radio in bed. It was under my pillow, listening to Gene Elston call Houston Astros games. And those are just the things that that I remember, and he was fantastic. Milo Hamilton was great too, but Gene Elston was he was awesome.
Well, and was Jay Howard with the Spurs and Terry Stembridge before. I mean, just pretty incredible. But I don't know who right now, what other network could pull off what NBC pulled off last night, because that crew is still with us and still good. Like all the names that we've just mentioned, man, they just can't. I don't know what you could do, but I thought last night was great. And again, Pledger said it. I did not know I needed that.
And props to NBC for pulling that off, and I think they pulled it off very well. So props to them, that's for sure. And it sounds like we'll see something similar to that again from what they were talking about last night. So let's hope so. And Spurs back in action tomorrow at home against the Detroit Pistons, which should be another great game. Dak Prescott working today.
Well,
doing a gala. Who knew? It's a gala in the middle of the afternoon.
Well, it's a press conference for the gala.
Press conference for the gala. All right,
yes,
all right. We're going to hear from number 4 when we continue here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Injuries happen, and when they do, you can skip the ER and get straight to the Ortho Now Injury Clinic by TSAOG Orthopedics and Spine. You see, Ortho Now provides walk-in care for injuries like broken bones, sprains, strains, dislocations. They're conveniently located over there by the quarry. They have extended hours Monday through Saturday. They offer on-site x-ray, casting, and bracing. In fact, Ortho Now has everything you need to treat that injury, but best of all, no urgent care or emergency room copay. So if you get yourself injured, get to the Ortho Now Injury Clinic. You can learn more online at tsaog.com.
And booster clubs. Need a fundraiser that's different from the rest? With Gardenville, supporters purchase something they already need. High quality, locally sourced mulch and compost. Your organization earns money on every sale. Real products, real value. With support from Gardenville to keep it simple. Ready to grow your fundraiser? Visit garden-ville.com/fundraising. That's garden-ville.com/fundraising.
I'm Boomer Esiason. My mom died from cancer. She was only 37 years old. She didn't have life insurance, and that was devastating for my family. That's why having life insurance is so important to me. Ethos makes it fast and easy. Get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. You can get up to $3 million in coverage with no medical exam.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/play. That's ethos.com/play. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Furnished by IntelliBrands.
Have you ever felt leg pain, restlessness, cramps, tingling, swelling, numbness, itchiness, or coldness? Then you need the new patented Legsercise Pro, the natural circulation booster that uses continuous automatic leg movement to soothe pain and promote healthy circulation the natural drug-free way.
Using Legsercise made walking painless again.
Legsercise Pro's patented walking simulator propulsion technology moves your feet back and forth along its concave track, creating constant movement and flex at both the knee and ankle joints. It's like having a physical therapist right in your own home.
I have much less swelling and no more tingling.
Call right now and order your very own Legsercise Pro, the new proven automatic leg mover that soothes pain and naturally promotes healthy circulation. Call 800-555-1212. That's 800-555-1212. 800-555-1212 now.
These statements and products have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease or condition.
The largest gun show in San Antonio is at the Shriner Auditorium this weekend. Texas Gun Shows is open this Friday from 4 to 7 p.m., 10 a.m. to 5 Saturday, and then 10 a.m. to 4 Sunday. Texas Gun Shows is at the Shriner Auditorium on 1604 this Friday through Sunday.
San Antonio's newest sports headquarters, Novo Brewery. Craft beers, full bar, hard kombucha on tap, a handcrafted food menu, and massive LED screens. Attached to North Star Mall with late hours. Visit novobrew.com. That's novobrew.com.
Hey, this is Rob Thompson here with my good friends from PrizePicks. I've got a little hint for you. I want you to go download PrizePicks right now. And if you remember the code ALAMO, you're going to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Remember, that's code ALAMO, and you'll get $50 in lineups. That's just from me to you. Now, let's talk about why you want to go get on PrizePicks, because right now is the best time to play PrizePicks, because the season's meat is there. We know what the teams are doing. We know who's going to get more or less. Now go capitalize. As college ends up, as the NBA pros head toward the playoffs, you know that Wemby's trending up. You know that Steph Castle's trending up. You know that certain guys are trending down. Now's the time to go play. So when you're playing basketball and you are winning, remember what PrizePicks does for you? If they start out fast, you can go ahead and cash out before the game's even over. That's why I love PrizePicks. Also, you got good picks? Share them on social media. They're going to help you do that. PrizePicks is fantastic because being right is good. Being right more is better. But man, it feels so good to be right.
The Gomez Law Firm is proud to be San Antonio's trusted personal injury law firm for the past 50 years. We have Jose with the Gomez Law Firm here with us. Your firm has been fighting for the people of San Antonio since 1973. That's incredible.
There are not a lot of businesses that stick around for even 50 years, let alone personal injury law firms.
If you have been injured in an accident or hit by a company vehicle, then turn to the law firm that will fight for you. Visit joegomezlaw.com.
And remember, Gomez Law Fights.
Buyers Barricades is proud to provide traffic control, rental, and sales for work zones and events in the San Antonio area and beyond. Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. Learn more online at buyersbarricades.com. That's buyersbarricades.com.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Stars Spring Golf Classic is back. Monday, March 30th at the Golf Club of Texas. Get your slot now. $150 per person or $500 per foursome. The Spring Golf Classic, benefiting fitting animals at no-kill shelters across Texas, is presented by Flight by Yingling, sponsored in part by Jesse Hernandez, the Texas Chancla, PPL Motorhomes, and Ancira Auto Group. The Spring Golf Classic, Monday, March 30th. Sign up now at sasportstar.com.
Who do you got, Joe?
Very similar. Yo, yo.
Wow.
One-hit wonder. Rip Van Winkle.
Or Rob.
Joe. George.
And Pledge is going to pull a hamstring in there breakdancing.
He is, isn't he?
Wasn't Rob's wife, like, high school classmates with
Yes,
Robbie?
Rob Thompson's wife, Kelly, went to high school with Mr. Van Winkle.
How about that?
Yes. Farmers Branch.
Farmers Branch.
Mm-hmm.
Huh. Was he a rapper back then?
Sure.
We'll have to ask her. I'm curious. Or is that just something that just kind of popped up? Or was he a singer?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I don't know. Not sure I'd call him a singer right now.
The jealousy.
It is. I think we'd all like to have one hit, make a lot of money, and ride off into the sunset.
I mean, one or two, and your life is fantastic. I mean, I look at like Kevin Martin, the lead singer from Candlebox. There are 2 songs. You hear that guitar, and you know exactly what it is. Now, he's got a lot of other great songs, and Candlebox has been touring for 33 years. But his house in Alamo Heights, his place in Malibu, and all his cars and everything else are 2 songs.
Wow.
2 songs.
Well, good for him. That's all you got to do. That's all you got to do. Get a hit or 2 and boom.
And you don't even have to be the singer, right? I think about, like Bruce Robinson. That guy has written a lot of great songs that other people made very, very famous.
Yeah.
And he is just fine. Radney Foster. Dixie Chicks did a song for Radney Foster, and every time Radney sings it, he was like, I'd like to thank the Dixie Chicks for putting my kids through college. Here we go.
Right.
I mean, it's true.
Yeah. Yeah. If you're a songwriter, that's very true.
Mm-hmm.
Holy cow. Well,
and old Robbie Van Winkle takes exception with you saying it sounds the same.
Well, I don't
It's totally
care.
different. It's a rap song. It doesn't sound anything like theirs.
And just to prove his point, Vanilla breaks it down and sings the dings.
Ding, 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 diggy, ding, ding. Ding, 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 diggy, ding, ding. Ding, 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 ding. That's the way theirs goes. Ours goes ding, 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 diggy, ding, ding. Ding, 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 diggy, ding, ding. That little bitty change.
Yeah, little bitty change.
Little bitty change.
Little bitty change. But to the untrained ear, it sounds exactly the same.
It is exactly the same.
Well, it's not.
Untrained.
Oh, please.
Well, no, because like you hear Ice Ice Baby, he's very quick to stop, break it down, and listen, right?
I think it's collaborating.
Or whatever.
Yeah. Just saying. I mean,
Where did you find that old interview play?
He ripped off Queen. Just flat ripped them off. And I'm
sampled.
Well, I'm sure there was a lawsuit involved in that. And if whoever that was interviewing him, asking the question, damn good and well that ripped them off.
I think he proved his point. It's
what,
different.
There was a difference.
You couldn't tell the difference?
You got ding, 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 beep, 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 ding, 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 beep, beep. I get you a little peak in there, and that's all you need, huh?
Just a little hi-hat.
It sound exactly the same, except you got a little peak.
A little what?
Peak. And that's all it takes.
That's it.
That's it. Wow.
That's how you end up with 5 girls.
Wow.
What?
Little peek.
Yeah. Not sure. Not sure I know where that is or where that is going, but
So Dak Prescott at a gala today.
He's got 2 girls. He got a little peek. Oh, Dak.
You all right, Pledge? I'm glad you cracked yourself up.
He did. He thought that was funny.
Dak Prescott today with a little advice for old George Pickens dealing with the tag.
George loves football. That's the one thing about it. I just want him to know, don't change your love for football. Don't get in the business mind of this. We played last year on a 1 year for not even that much, right? So if you can go 30, whatever it is now, I think it's the same thing I got. So, when I franchise, so hey, go do it. At the end of the day, bet on yourself. He's a hell of a player. hopefully we can get him long term and sign that. But if not, I think the way that he plays the game and the person that he is, he'll be just fine.
Well, you think George is going to listen to Dak? Because Dak's basically saying, look, dude, play on the tag, bet on yourself. I did. Paid off for me really well. But will Pickens have the same mindset?
I mean, we know he's going to play. Will he show up for off-season, show up for training camp, and the chances of that are no.
Dak did.
Dak did. What? Bet on yourself. And Dak did twice, playing on the tag.
Mm-hmm.
And it worked out well for him.
Made a lot of money doing that.
He made a lot of money. And still got paid. But it's the part that I found most interesting. You love football. Don't get caught up in the business side of it. Where is he saying that the business side of it, if you get caught up in that, could take away your love of the game? It's kind of a fascinating path to kind of go down. I'd love to hear Dak kind of explain that, or guys that have gone through it, but there are guys that get to the point they just don't love it anymore. Mm-hmm. They just don't give a damn. Hell, the Bears center just retired. He's 27, and he just doesn't love it anymore. Doesn't want to do it.
A huge hole in the Bears' offensive line, too, man.
Which makes me a little concerned that the Cowboys apparently aren't going to offer a tender to Brock Hoffman. So instead of being a restricted free agent, he's going to be an unrestricted free agent, and there's going to be a market for Brock Hoffman.
Absolutely, there will be.
And Brock Hoffman's a guy that loves football, and but I do find it interesting that Dak would use that line of words together. Don't let the business side affect your love of the game, because it is a business, and it is big business, but you're still playing a kid's game. How do you have that mindset? You're like, dude, you're going to have around $30 million, 27, 28, whatever that tag number is, and be unhappy. That's incredible, because it's not enough, and there's no security. If you ultimately, you're getting life-changing money for 1 year, and you're still playing football. Keep it a kid's game and your love of the game. And that's a serious balancing act that I think most of us don't give a lot of thought to when thinking about what it's like being a professional athlete.
Well, it is interesting when you put it in perspective like that. I mean, $28 million is life-changing money.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you handle that right, you, your kids, your grandkids, you'll all be just fine. So, and what the good news about the tag is, it's all guaranteed.
Yep.
He gets hurt in game one, it's guaranteed he's getting $28 million. And so I think we get lost in that. We keep saying, well, there's no security there. Jeez.
Well,
there's a lot of security. It's because it's not $100 million. There's a hell of a lot of security in $28 million.
There is, but from their perspective, I totally get where they're coming from, that you want more than a 1-year contract. Nobody wants a 1-year contract. Everybody wants that security.
I get that.
Listening to Brandon Aubrey today, he's going to make a whole lot of money, but it ain't enough.
Don't really have much going at the moment. Just sitting around waiting. So obviously the tender is what the Cowboys have talked about, and it's a good problem to have. It's a good amount of money. It's a big pay raise for me from before, but it's not the ideal for any player. So we'll see what happens. Excited to be in this position.
And again, what's Aubrey going to do? Is he going to hold out? I mean, seriously.
He could, but again, I'm trying to come from the player perspective, and I think Brandon Aubrey just offered a real insight into what it's like to be in that position. He knows he's going to be a millionaire. He knows he's getting a massive raise, and he's excited about that. But it's not ideal, because most, in the way the system is set up, 3 or 4 years is your typical contract, maybe 5, because we know Jerry likes longer contracts, a big number of guaranteed money, and then a bunch of stuff that you're probably never going to see. but for 1 year, you're going to make this. But you can't have a 1-year mindset because if you go out there and you get seriously injured in September or December, whenever it is on a 1-year deal, there's nothing else coming after that. It's like, do you want on this Wednesday to go have a great tomahawk steak somewhere? Sure, but that's the only meal you get for the next 10 days. I don't know if I want that tomahawk, even though it's going to be a great steak, but I got to eat every day. I think it's that, as bad of an analogy as that is, that's kind of what they're saying. You're going to eat great today, but there's no guarantee of a next meal.
Well, look, and it's completely different, too, when you're talking about Aubrey's $5 million versus George Pickens' $28 million. $5 million, I could see that, you're not happy with that because there is no guarantee. And there's, I assume that Aubrey's probably going to be near the $20 million guaranteed salary range whenever this thing gets worked out and however it gets worked out. But when you're talking about $28 million, I find, and I get the athlete, I understand it all. I get it. You want as much as you can possibly make and all of that stuff. But $28 million in the state of Texas.
I'm with you, but again, Aubrey's looking at 5 and probably guaranteed at 20. Pickens, same thing, just different numbers. Guaranteed at 28 this year, but he probably wants close to 100.
I'm sure he does.
Guaranteed.
Of course he does.
But the mentality is the same, dude. I'm excited about this. But if you think you're getting 100 and you're only getting 28, you're kind of disappointed. If you think you're going to get that tomahawk steak and you show up and it's strip, it's still good steak, but it ain't the same.
It's pretty damn good, though, as long as they cook it right.
But again, though, I mean, if you're thinking you're getting a tomahawk and you get a strip steak, I know you're going to be kind of pissed.
Well, I suppose. And, I know where you're going with this, but I just think that we get caught up in the numbers, and you think, well, how could he possibly play for $28 million? And we start thinking about it, and you're like, geez, that's a ton of money. And no, in today's NFL, it's I guess piddly stuff, but I mean, it's like, my goodness. So you're not going to show up for work because you're afraid you're going to get hurt. Well, if you get hurt, you still got $28 million in the bank.
Sure. What do we bitch about with college athletics right now? There's no loyalty, and you will bounce from one school to the next. Right now, it's almost like the Cowboys are acting like the college football players and not the university when you only have a 1-year deal. Where's the commitment long term? We want these college athletes to sign long-term deals with the schools, and we all hate that, you can play this season and then immediately bounce because it's better to have long-term agreement. The bouncing all the time sucks. And so for these players that are offered these 1-year tender and tag kind of situations, they're looking at, they want that long-term security.
I totally get that, but at the same time, you got to field a team, and it has to. You got to you got to feed a lot of mouths. You're not just feeding one or two; you're feeding a lot, and so you got to look at it that way. Everybody wants theirs, and I get it, and it's not their problem, and the team's got to come up with this and that, and I get all of that. But I mean, at some point in time, for you not to show up for work when somebody's offering you $28 million, to me, that doesn't make a lot of sense.
Well, I mean,
and I'm being accused of being like, I'm an old man. I'll give me $1 million and I'll play. I'm not.
But Pickens
think about it.
Not going to go when he's not getting paid. He's going to show up when the game checks start coming in. Because on the tag, the contract doesn't require you to show up at training camp.
Doesn't George Pickens still have to prove himself?
Sure.
I mean, doesn't he?
Sure.
I mean, seriously. So to get a long-term deal, I mean, there's a lot of red flags with George Pickens. He had a great year last year, yeah. Once he gets paid, is that still going to happen? That's a roll of the dice for Dallas or whomever.
Absolutely it is. It is the one time a player can be selfish is at the negotiating table. And to your point, the Cowboys have to field an entire team. That is not George Pickens' problem.
No, it's not.
No different than, I won't speak for you. I'll speak for me. I don't know what Morgan has to do to balance the budget at this radio station. That ain't my job. As long as I'm getting mine, you're getting yours, Pledge is getting his. We got a team. That's somebody else's problem. That's why managing a salary cap is an art and a skill that the Cowboys struggle to deal with. Some do it really well, some don't, but that ain't George Pickens' problem, especially right now, this being his first big contract. Now, if he's been paid a couple of times before, then maybe he would be a little bit more, yeah, I get it, man. We got a really good team. Maybe I'm not going to ask for as much. But these players, go get all you can.
Sure, I suppose. Again, it doesn't make a lot of sense to me. You don't show up for work when you're getting paid. And he can show up for the games. That's fine. We saw what that did to C.D. Lamb.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't work out too well for C.D., although he got paid. So I don't know. I don't trust George Pickens. I'll just say that right now. I don't trust George Pickens to be the player that the Dallas Cowboys think that he's going to be and that Dak Prescott thinks he's going to be. I don't trust him. And until I trust him, I wouldn't pay him either. And he'd play on the tag this year, and depending on what happens, maybe next year as well. And then you figure out what you can do from there. So, and you got to look at it from that standpoint too, do you not? I mean, yeah, it's not the player's problem, but it's Jerry's problem, and he's got to realize that he needs a player that's going to be there and is going to be committed to the football team, just like Morgan expects us to be committed to this radio show.
That's it. And again, tough decisions have to be made. You're hearing about all kinds of guys that have been established with their teams being told they're going to be released soon. Some you kind of expect. Some are a bit of surprise because managing a salary cap is difficult and tough decisions have to be made.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And with George Pickens, a tough decision was made. They had to franchise tag him. So there you go. You want to talk about George Pickens again?
No.
Not really. Jeez, George Pickens. Unbelievable. I do want to talk about.
I think he's a bum.
I don't think he's a bum necessarily, but I think he's a bum. We got a lot more to go. Final hour of the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Let me tell you about my Connecticut quality water softener. It is worth bragging about. I'm going to tell you that right now. I didn't think it would be. I was skeptical going in, that's for sure, because I've had other water softeners in other places that I've lived, and well, I just didn't think there was that much difference. But day one, when I had this in my house, you saw the difference. It is just head and shoulders better than anything else I've ever had. It is the best water softener on the market, certainly the most popular one, and Connecticut's been serving San Antonio for over 50 years. All their products made right here in the good old US of A, and well, I love the fact that you don't plug this thing in. It does not run on electricity. It runs on that kinetic energy. Not really sure what that is, but it works 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And the showers are better, the clothes are better, the dishes are better. Everything is better with a Connecticut quality water softener. And boy, they have got a deal for you. You buy a Connecticut quality water softener, you're going to get a free reverse osmosis drinking station that they're going to install right there at your kitchen sink. Bottled water right there at your kitchen sink. It is fantastic. No need to buy bottled water anymore. Plus, they're going to give you free money. 0% interest for 12 months. That's one heck of a deal. Don't wait. You deserve this. Your family deserves this. The biggest investment you have, your house, deserves this. Give them a call. 656-PURE, 656-7873, or you can get them online at ConnecticutSA.com. And you know the jingle, sing it with me. It's the last water softener you'll ever own. Call 656-PURE. Connecticut.
This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
6 for 6, and the Aggies have the lead.
Your home for Aggies football. KTFM Floresville.
Indeed presents hires you can't afford to get wrong, like a staff accountant at the height of tax season.
Congrats, looks like the company owes, $50 in taxes. How about that?
That seems low. Why only 50?
Why do you care so much? It's not your money.
This is a job for sponsored jobs. This is what happens when you don't sponsor your job on Indeed. Next time, get matched with quality candidates with Indeed sponsored jobs. Visit Indeed.com/hire now and sponsor your job today.
Pizza's here.
Oh, great. I'd love some, but I'm worried about my stomach issues.
If you're worried about having diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose, oily stools, it may not just be stomach issues. It could be a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and talk to your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
Mellow Mushroom has the best pizza in San Antonio. Mellow delivers the best pizza experience with their delicious dough, premium ingredients, and unique flavors. Delivering a higher order of pizza is the standard. If Mellow can make a pizza this delicious, imagine what they can do with munchies, greens, calzones, and burgers. Mellow Mushroom has San Antonio's best happy hour with food specials and half-off adult beverages. Mellow Mushroom is at 1604 in Stone Oak Parkway. Hang with friends, watch the game, and mellow out at Mellow Mushroom.
Welcome to guided meditation. Close your eyes. You're at the beach. The seagulls are calling. You take out your iPhone 16e you got from Cricket and use Apple Intelligence to clean up that selfie you just took. It's a good one. You send it to your friends instantly thanks to reliable nationwide 5G. They're totally jealous. Get iPhone 16e for $49.99 when you switch. Smile, you're on Cricket.
Requires new line on the Supreme Unlimited plan. First service charge and tax due at sale. $25 activation fee. Terms and restrictions apply. Cricket 5G is not available everywhere. See store for details.
Hi, my name's Jason Thompson. I've lived in San Antonio for more than 50 years. Went to grade school, high school, and graduated from law school right here. San Antonians have trusted me as their attorney after serious injury and fatality collision since 1994. My website is alawyerforus.com. Why a lawyer for us? Well, after several years of practice, I watched as insurance companies created their own law firms solely to defend against auto claims. Today, there are very few insurance companies that do not have their own captive law firm filled with attorneys whose job is to minimize what the insurance company has to pay on an auto claim. If you or a family member is injured in a traffic collision, you will need your own attorney. Just remember alawyerforus.com. For many lawyers you see on billboards, your case will be handled by a non-lawyer or a staff lawyer. If you call me, Jason Thompson, I will be the lawyer you speak with. The initial consultation is always free. If you or a family member needs an experienced attorney you can trust, I want you to call me, Jason Thompson. My number is 900-0400. That's 210-900-0400 or alawyerforus.com.
When snack time calls, Pork Rinds answers. Be your own crunch time hero with Southern Recipe small batch pork rinds. Skip the chip and go straight for the ultimate crunch that's low carb, high protein, and loaded with bold flavor. We're talking sweet barbecue or hot honey. Yeah, it's that good. Snack smarter, crunch harder. Stock up on Southern Recipe small batch pork rinds at H-E-B or head to porkrinds.com. Make Southern Recipe your crunch time hero.
DQ presents the Spicy Menu. For a limited time, try the new Flamethrower Chicken Strip Basket for $6.99 with spicy, bold strips that heat you up. Served with a side of famous DQ soft serve as a dip to cool you down. That's right, dip those spicy chicken strips right into soft serve, plus fries and toast, all for just $6.99. And add a new pineapple lemonade sparkler or cooler made with tahini. It's the limited time only Spicy Menu. Get it delivered in the DQ app. Happy, tastes good. Participation may vary. San Antonio's Sports Center.
Well, some sad news today. Lou Holtz, the Hall of Fame head coach who led Notre Dame to his last football national championship, died today. He was 89 and is said to have he was in hospice care for months, died surrounded by his family. Spurs wrapped up their Rodeo Road Trip in style, a 40-point win in Philadelphia. They get right back at it here at home, opening up a 6-game homestand against the Detroit Pistons tomorrow night.
Joe Reinagel.
That's the third time in 7 seasons the San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minix.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
On a hump day!
Hump day!
Hump day!
Hump day!
Happy Hump Day, everybody. Hope you're having a great one. Whatever you are doing, however you're doing, and I know you are if you get off work at 5 o'clock because you're done. You're sliding down the hump right into the weekend. Congratulations. Thanks for spending some time with us here on the Blitz. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I'm Joe Reinagel. He's Jason Minix.
So much going on. Think about 1 week from today, next hump day.
Next hump day.
Next hump day. It's New Year's Day.
Wow.
The league year in the NFL.
It is. Wow, that's cool. And you know what I love about
free agency open.
You know what I love about the NFL these days? It's a year-round sport.
It has been.
I mean, it really is.
Yeah.
It's year-round. Yeah, there's stuff going on, it seems, year-round. We're going to have our first OTAs coming up pretty soon, right?
Crazy, isn't it?
It's nuts.
Love it.
I do too.
Love it, love it, love it, love it. And look, news flying everywhere today with, this team saying they're going to release this person, cap casualty, this guy's getting a new job. Brock Hoffman, a restricted free agent for the Dallas Cowboys. A couple of weeks ago, there were reports that they really wanted to keep him. Dude started a lot of games last year for Dallas.
He did, yeah. He can play anywhere. I mean, center but he can play anywhere.
Center guard, and dude, he's been on the Blitz many times, man. Dude is fun to talk to. Has a great podcast.
Funny guy.
As well. Eats a lot. That'd be a bummer if he left. Because I restricted free agent, I thought he might be one that would get the tender, which makes me wonder if the because I just think this guy's going to be able to go make a lot of money somewhere else. You kind of remember some of those Spurs players that were here and then, making a lot of money in other places, and he's going to go make a lot of money. And, man, the Cowboys' offensive line, we spend so much time talking about the defense needing fixing. Cowboys' offensive line, the starters, for the most part, good. For the most part, I know you're going to say Tyler Guyton, but for the most part, good. 4 or 5 I'm happy with.
Okay.
Or 3 of the 5.
All right.
Steele.
Yeah, Steele.
But the depth is the concern. And Brock Hoffman's been a great depth guy for the Cowboys for a while.
Brock's been great. Yeah, he really has. And, again, just because of his versatility, he can play several different positions on that offensive line. So somebody's hurt, he can fill in. So it'd be interesting to me if the Cowboys do something with him to try and keep him. But I would imagine with offensive line help as desperate a lot of teams need it, Brock Hoffman's going to be a popular guy on the free agent market.
Well, and everybody's looking for offensive line depth.
Absolutely.
And I wonder – just a guess. I have no way of knowing this. But we keep talking about Pickens and his guaranteed money. What Aubrey is going to get. All these restructures get the Cowboys just under the salary cap, but not enough to go spend a lot in free agency. But I expect some other deals to get reworked because they can. They can create the money if they want to. But if you're going to pay a lot more for your kicker, every position group has a dollar amount to it. It's fluid, but you've got a $300 million salary cap. You've got what's Dak's cap number today? Did it drop down to 43?
It dropped down significantly today, yeah.
Right. So say they got 43, 44 million for the quarterback. George Pickens, he's going to get tagged. The wide receiver room, that money, the budget for wide receivers just went way up. And they do that with the offensive line, with the defensive line, with the linebackers. Every position group has an amount of money associated with it to come up with the cap number. And when you overspend in one, you've got to take from the other. If they aren't going to sign Brock Hoffman, I'm just wondering, I'm just thinking and speculating out loud, are they going to pay a kicker and steal from the offensive line group? Because the starters are set. But the depth, are they thinking, all right, well, we'll go find somebody on a rookie deal, then pay Brock Hoffman? Are they going to go cheap and offensive line depth, which if they did would be a major mistake?
Well, it's interesting that you say that, but I have to assume that they've got Aubrey figured in if he stays to what they reportedly offered him to begin with. So I have to figure they've got him figured in. Now, Brock Hoffman, obviously it's part of the plan to let him go explore because they're not going to tender him, and he's able to go anywhere he wants.
And again, but at some point, if you're going to pay that much money for your kicker, your special teams, your kicker, your long snapper, and your punter cost you $4.81 last year, right? I mean, really, what do you figure? They probably have under $3 million, $2.5 million in that group.
Sure.
And on the tender alone, Aubrey's going to make $5 million. So as a position group, you're probably looking at $8-9 million. So that money's got to come from somewhere. Where are they siphoning it off from? Because Brock Hoffman could probably start at a lot of places.
Well, I think the Houston Texans might be interested.
He wouldn't be good in Houston. I'm thinking he's going to end up being the center for the Chicago Bears. Him or Tyler Biadasz.
They're both available.
Because they're both available. The Bears are going to are scrambling to find a center.
Yeah.
But it does make me wonder. Jerry talking about spending in free agency. Offensive line, not a priority. And quite frankly, hasn't been they got to do something there because they've got solid starters. I mean, Guyton, Jury is still out. Solid center guard, right tackle, right, but solid. Depth, check. If they lose Brock Hoffman, you undo that check, and now what are you going to do? Unless you're going to try to go young and cheap at offensive line. And you just paid a running back, and you've got a very expensive quarterback, and you're going to go cheap on the insurance there.
Yeah, but look, you've got to go cheap somewhere, though, don't you? I mean, and the offensive line is not where I would do that, but the Cowboys have invested first-round draft picks in that offensive line, 3 years in a row?
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, it's not like they've neglected it, but you're right. The depth part of it, especially if Hoffman goes elsewhere, is going to be a concern. Be interesting to see what they do, Jason. I wish they would make a splash. And the reason I say that, if we figure Pickens is playing, so you got Pickens and CeeDee Lamb again on the outside. Your tight end is fine. Your running back is fine. Your offensive line we just talked about. So your offense should be okay. Go out and make a splash on the defensive side the way the Rams did today. Now, it was expensive, but their major need on their defense was a defensive back, a good one. And they got a good one in Trent McDuffie today. It cost them a first, fifth, and sixth this year and a third in 2027. So it wasn't cheap, but they've addressed the biggest need that they had on that defense. And I tell you what, if the Rams stay healthy, they have to be the favorite to go to the Super Bowl from the NFC.
It's so interesting when you think about what the Rams are doing. And you're right, big need. They went and fixed it by way of a trade.
Mm-hmm.
Cost them a lot, but they think they're close. All in. A lot of stories today. Because they're going to lose Jimmy Garoppolo as their backup quarterback.
Yep.
Matt Stafford, 2 more years maybe?
Maybe.
But speculation, depending on what Kyler Murray wants to do, now that Cliff Kingsbury is the associate head coach there, could Kyler Murray end up as the Rams' backup quarterback?
Wow.
I mean, again, he's only going to cost $1.3 million to the Rams because the Cardinals are going to pay him. It's a couple middle fingers to somebody in your division. And a year learning from Sean McVay. I mean, think about all Baker Mayfield learned in a week.
Yeah.
So what could Kyler learn in a year in which he's not expected to play unless something bad happens to Matthew Stafford? But could Kyler Murray end up being the quarterback after Stafford decides he's done? With Kingsbury there, I think a lot of people are connecting the dots. But this time of year, there's a lot of speculation for, Aaron Rodgers is going somewhere to start, and he's being, kind of penciled in with Minnesota as a potential if he doesn't go back to Pittsburgh. Well, if he goes to Minnesota, does that mean they are done with J.J. McCarthy? But Kyler Murray.
They need to be.
And Kyler Murray also has been, speculation. Could he end up in Minnesota? Which, again, that would certainly speak to the end of J.J. McCarthy because Kyler Murray isn't going somewhere for a year. If Aaron Rodgers went to Minnesota, it could be them, Kevin O'Connell, saying, all right, McCarthy, you need another year, learn from Aaron Rodgers, and then maybe you'll get your job back. If Murray goes there, I think I think McCarthy is done.
Well, didn't Darnold went to the Rams for a year, did he not? Wasn't he the backup at the Rams before he went to Minnesota?
Yeah.
And so he learned a lot. And so
Yeah.
what you're saying there is, I mean, there's been a lot of success stories coming out just spending a year with the LA Rams and that coaching staff. Kyler Murray is just such a different quarterback. And I don't know. I don't know. It's a talented guy. Obviously, his legs are a weapon, but I'm just not sure. I don't know. It's not going to cost you anything to take a chance on him. So I guess in that respect, he's going to have some landing spots. But I'm just not sure I'm sold on Kyler Murray going anywhere or being a guy that I would bring in if I'm the Rams, saying he's the guy to replace Matt Stafford when Stafford decides to step down.
It's going to be interesting. Although, and again, relationships matter, and the fact that Kingsbury is now with the Rams, although for how long? A year, two, until he gets another head coaching job. Yep. And Kyler Murray, maybe the change of scenery is what he needs. I'd like to think he has matured from his time in Arizona. Tua at some point is probably going to get released. Where is he going to end up? I just don't. What I know of Kyler Murray, I don't know that he wants to go somewhere and be a backup.
That's very true, and he may not want to, but he may have to. I mean, I don't know.
And again, if you have to, would you rather have to with the Rams because they might go win a Super Bowl?
Sure.
And you get to learn from Sean McVay, and you're in L.A. versus, I don't know, competing with Shador for the starting job in Cleveland.
I guess it depends on his relationship with Kingsbury. Did they leave on good terms, or is there some ill will there?
If there's ill will, it's on Cliff's part, man. Kyler got him fired.
Well, very, very true. That could be the case. That's true. It's going to be a fun offseason. And, again, a week from today, all of this takes place. Spurs have a day off today. I'm sure they're enjoying their own house today. I would imagine Spurs players probably didn't go anywhere today. They just hung around, did nothing. Maybe, I don't know, they're young, want to get out and do something. We'll talk a little Spurs basketball when we continue here on the Blitz. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. First, I want to introduce you to a place. If you have not been there yet, you need to get into Novo Brewery. It is a fantastic place. In fact, it is the new sports watching destination here in San Antonio. Novo Brewery, it's attached to North Star Mall. And when I say it's attached to North Star Mall, a couple of ways to get in there. If you're shopping in the mall, you want to go into Novo Brewery, you can get in that way. But Novo Brewery also has its own entrance right there from the back parking lot. You can get in there, and they are open late. They are not tied to North Star Mall's hours. Novo Brewery is open late. Look, there's not a bad seat in the house if you're watching a sporting event there at Novo. They've got 8 massive LED screens, over 80 feet of LED video walls. Not to mention the fact they've got 60 craft beers. They've got kombucha on draft. Minix tried that the other day, and he's hooked now. I tell you what, he loves it. He did like it. It was great. Not to mention, look, they've got other beer too. They've got regular beer. If you don't want the craft beer, they've got all the others as well on tap and in the can and bottle. Full bar as well. And the food is outstanding. It is some of the best food that I've had. It goes all the way from ribeye steaks all the way down to nachos and chips and queso and wings and all of that kind of stuff. And I'm going to tell you something. The food, I don't know how they season it, but it is outstanding. It's got a distinct flavor that you're just going to love. Once you try it, you will go back again and again and again. This is their very first Texas location, by the way. Check them out. Go to novobrew.com. That's N-O-V-O brew.com.
Attention coaches, educators, and booster clubs. Need a fundraiser that's different from the rest? With Gardenville, supporters purchase something they already need. High quality, locally sourced mulch and compost. Your organization earns money on every sale. Real products, real value, with support from Gardenville to keep it simple. Ready to grow your fundraiser? Visit garden-ville.com/fundraising. That's garden-ville.com/fundraising.
Have you or a loved one been arrested? Call the law office of Jesse Hernandez, the Texas Chancla, and get the aggressive legal help you deserve. From criminal defense to personal injury, attorney Jesse Hernandez and his powerhouse team are ready to fight for your rights. Calls are answered 24/7 because legal trouble doesn't keep office hours. Call 210-807-8656 or visit jessehernandezlaw.com. That's jessehernandezlaw.com. The law office of Jesse Hernandez, the Texas Chancla, has your back.
Running a business means wearing multiple hats. So if you're like me, you probably started out using your personal phone, taking client calls and texts nonstop. As my business grew, I needed something smarter. That's when I switched to Quo, the #1 business phone system. Quo works right on your phone or computer. No carrying 2 phones, no clunky landline, just one easy app you can try for free. Your team can share one number and handle calls and texts together like a shared inbox. Any teammate can jump into the conversation, so customers get faster responses. And Quo's AI assistant summarizes your calls and responds to customers 24/7, so you never miss a lead or opportunity. All this starts at just $15 a month. That's basically 2 coffees. You can even keep your current business phone number. Find out why 90,000 businesses trust Quo. No missed calls, no missed customers. Try Quo for free at quo.com/sports. That's quo.com/sports to try Quo free. QUO.com/SPORTS.
San Antonio's newest sports headquarters, Novo Brewery. Juicy, thick-cut ribeye, picanha prime sirloin, Brazilian empanadas, stacked burgers, and more. This is bring your appetite food. Novo is attached to North Star Mall with late hours. Visit novobrew.com.
Buyers Barricades is proud to provide traffic control, rental, and sales for work zones and events in the San Antonio area and beyond. Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. Learn more online at buyersbarricades.com. That's buyersbarricades.com.
I'm Boomer Esiason. My mom died from cancer. She was only 37 years old. She didn't have life insurance, and that was devastating for my family. That's why having life insurance is so important to me. Ethos makes it fast and easy. Get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. You can get up to $3 million in coverage with no medical exam.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/play. That's ethos.com/play. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Stars Spring Golf Classic is back. Round up your foursome, your work crew, your weekend golf buddies, even the ladies, and get ready for a fun, laid-back day at the Golf Club of Texas. Monday, March 30th. Lock in a team for just $500 for a foursome, or jump in solo for $150 per player and spend the day talking trash, crushing drives, and laughing your way around the course. This isn't a stuffy golf club tournament. It's golf the way it should be. The Spring Golf Classic benefits feeding animals at no-kills shelters across Texas, so you're having a great time for a great cause. Presented by Flight by Yingling and sponsored by Jesse Hernandez, the Texas Chancla, PPL Motorhomes, and Ancira Auto Group. And when the last putt drops, the day is just getting started. Join us for the after party at the 90 Proof Bar at Lucky Ranch Road and Highway 90. Cold drinks, great food, and all the post-round storytelling you can handle. So pick your team, claim your spot, and tee up with San Antonio's Sports Star. Sign up your foursome now at sasportstar.com.
Number 2 can still make us laugh.
Well, that's the only thing.
That's about the only thing I give a damn about number 2 about. But there he is with the old NBC music. I guess it's not old anymore. They brought it back, and it's here to stay as long as NBC has the NBA. This is the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I'm Joe. He is Jason. Spurs had a great finish to the Rodeo Road Trip, but you brought up something. Mike Finger has an article. Is it today?
Yeah. I just I don't know. Let's see, when did Mike tweeted it out 30 minutes ago?
Okay.
how an Alaska trip had Victor gazing in wonder. According to Mike Finger, who's great at what he does, I believe everything that he writes. Only one traveler made it through the Spurs' 23-day rodeo trip without visiting home. It was Victor. And his tweet says, why Victor Wembanyama declined a few hours of rest and a security detail and chose instead to become the awestruck witness looking up in wonder. So I'm reading the Mike Finger column in the Express News or expressnews.com. And after the All-Star game, the declining of security, Wemby had a car waiting for him to take him to the airport. Apparently the Spurs offered him security. He said no. I don't know if he flew private or went through TSA, but he left L.A. and went straight to Alaska. So those extra couple of days, instead of coming home and resting, he went to Alaska to experience the Northern Lights. And the photos that people were talking about of him on the snowmobile and all that kind of stuff in the snow, that was all in Alaska. That wasn't in New York, even though they had a boatload of snow out there in New York. He is such a curious individual, and he's rich, so he can go do things like that, like go hang out with the monks, go to the Great Wall. Got 3 days off? Let's go to Alaska. Words I've never even thought about saying. Well, let's go to Alaska. Yeah. No, it's cold. But I do wonder, though, as sluggish as he's kind of looked in those games after the All-Star break, well, I appreciate his desire to go explore. Should he have gone to bed?
Well, it's a legit question, I think. I mean, I think it is, because after the All-Star break, Wemby, offensively anyway, his defense never faltered. But offensively, he looked, and there were times where he looked a little tired. So it's a legit question. I guess we'll never really know the answer to that. But, I mean, it's hard to tell a professional athlete when you got a couple of days off that you can or can't do something. And Wemby decided he wanted to go to Alaska, and that's what he did. Did it affect his play? Perhaps.
Well,
maybe not.
I mean, none of us know Wemby. Unless you are a part of that team in a very tight inner circle, you don't know Wemby. But what we do know about Wemby is he takes incredibly good care of his body.
Mm-hmm.
His bedtime, his phone time, what he's eating, his diet. I mean, everything that you see and read about Zion, Wemby is the complete opposite, right? So, but he did say the All-Star break, he was kind of tired.
Yeah.
Now, I love the fact that he's curious. And, you know, in the quotes in here about not really believing what you were seeing because it just seems so out of place. Cool, go explore. But it is kind of odd that he was talking about being tired after the All-Star break, but he went to Alaska.
The All-Star game was where?
In Los Angeles.
It was in okay, so it's not that big of a difference and probably not that long of a plane ride, I'm assuming.
Dude, you're flying to Alaska. There's
it.
No
it's on the West Coast though, right?
I mean,
it's on the West Coast.
On the West Coast. I mean,
well, I know it's the time difference even in LA is different. I think for us, Alaska's like 5 hours different behind us. So I don't know how far it is or whatever. Look, I don't know if it, but obviously the Spurs didn't have an issue with it, or if they did, they didn't say anything.
Well, what are you going to tell them? It's your day off.
I suppose.
A direct flight from Los Angeles to Anchorage, Alaska, according to the Google box, is about 5.5 to 6 hours.
Oh, geez. Okay.
Now, again, on a private plane, I'm assuming he wasn't on Alaska Airlines, but maybe he was. But if he flew private, then it would depend on what kind of private plane. But most of them, unless he's got something really, really fancy, are about the same as a commercial airline. Like when I was fortunate to be on a private plane going to Vegas, it was the same flight time as Southwest. I just didn't have to deal with the crap at the airport.
Right.
Which is fantastic.
Which is very nice. Go through security or any of that stuff. So
Yeah.
Look,
and then he flew from there, I'm going to guess, and met the team in Detroit for that first game back.
Now, that's
Detroit?
a hell of a long flight.
How long?
I mean, right? If it's 5 hours to L.A., it's got to be at least, 8, 9 to Detroit?
How long is the flight from Alaska to Detroit? And between 9 and 11 hours.
Yeah.
But you can sleep on the plane.
And
it's got a couch, a bed.
Well, sure, and you're losing time, right? So you're not gaining, you're losing hours instead of gaining them. East Coast time, and it's got to be 6 hours or so difference in time, I would think. Look, I don't know, and I'm not going to sit here and judge and say that he shouldn't have done that because, well, he looked tired.
Yeah.
And maybe that's the case, maybe it's not, but again, he's Wemby. He's at the ability to do it. Spurs obviously had no problem with it, and so there you go. And quite frankly, the team had arguably their best rodeo road trip, certainly one of the top of all time
in recent memory. I mean, one loss on the rodeo road trip, and it was a clunker.
Yeah,
but outside of Toronto, wasn't every other win by double digits?
Yeah, well, pretty much. Yeah, it was. I don't know if every other win. I guess it was.
I think every win. I mean, the wins were all by double digit except one, and then they had one loss. Last night was a 40-point win. They were up 49 at one point. They could have won that game by 100, it felt like.
Well, they could have.
I mean, they scored more in the first half, or almost as much in the first half last night as they did the entire game against New York, which was a season low in scoring. They were, 10, 11 off of that.
But again, you had a Philadelphia team that was not whole. They were missing several players, and the three-point shot was falling, where it didn't do that in New York. Now, credit New York a little bit for that, but it was falling last night. Again, this team, they're going to rely on the three-point shot. You're going to have to hope that they're hitting them, and that's all you can do at this point because they're not going to change. That's the way that it is, and you almost wonder. With the team, the rest of the team playing as well as it is, Jason, that are they going to lay off Wemby a little bit and start concentrating on these other guys a little bit more, maybe opening things up perhaps a little bit for Victor Wembanyama? Or do you just say you're going to take your chance? And if we're not going to let Wemby beat us, but if the other guys do, so be it.
Well, Wemby is so unselfish that if those guys are open, he's going to make the pass. That's the key, and that was last night.
The key in the scoring was making the early pass. I think early in the game we made it maybe a little bit harder on ourselves by having one or two too many dribbles while penetrating. And I think once we made the early pass, we got our shooters open. They were collapsing a lot, so we made it easy.
Well, so there you go. They're collapsing a lot, making Wemby get the ball out of his hand. And his teammates are knocking him down.
And again, incredible. So he didn't come home during the All-Star break. Hadn't been home since they left on the rodeo road trip. So he was asked last night, what's he looking forward to most about getting home?
Sleeping in my own bed, eating my chef's food, getting back into the normal routine, the normal life, because that ain't normal. Are you even there? Over there is not normal. More normal.
Wow, that's a normal. I get my own bed, eating my chef's food.
Mm-hmm.
That's.
I like to eat my chef's food too.
Yeah, me too.
That's me.
You. Yes,
that's me. I tell you what I did last night.
No,
being my own chef. I was so pissed off. So, get a fancy ass meal at HEB. I go throw it in the oven, turn the oven on. Heats up. But it's the enchiladas they have, the beef enchiladas made with brisket. Fantastic, by the way. Alexa set a timer for 20 minutes. I'm on the phone with my kid, and Alexa's done. I open up the oven, and it ain't done. I can tell that cheese is not melted at all. What the? I turned on the bottom oven. We got two ovens, right? They're stacked. Apparently the bottom one was on.
Dude, I hope you survive.
Dude. Well, and then I'm thinking, because There's stuff in there, like pots, and it's a storage spot because we never use the. I don't even know how you turn the bottom of it on. There's another button for that. But it was hot, so I just put the enchiladas down there and had Alexa reset the timer. But yeah, I was not happy.
Yeah, dude, I hope you survive. It's been, what, almost a week?
Almost a week. Then I had to call my wife and figure out how to turn the bottom one off because apparently it turns off differently than the top one.
Oh, my goodness.
Son of a.
Yeah. Worry about you, Minix.
I'm going out
That's
tonight.
For sure. I don't blame you. I think I would, too.
I can't be left alone.
No. Adventures of a single Jason Minix. Let's talk about it.
No, let's not.
We will continue, though, here on the Blitz, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
If you are having issues at the house with your plumbing or your AC, you know there is one company to call, and that is Quartermoon Plumbing, Heating, and AC. 210-651-5899 is the phone number, 651-5899. At Quartermoon, they are experts at worst-case scenarios, big job, small job, residential or commercial. Their service trucks are fully stocked, and they have all the equipment needed for any job. So call them, 210-651-5899, 651-5899, or online at quartermoonplumbing.com.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
Thursday on the Morning Huddle, the Spurs back in town and back in action, taking on the Pistons.
Franchise tags have been laid, and now it's time to go find free agents. Where are the Cowboys looking? What's going on with the Texans? And, oh my goodness, college basketball is getting serious. It's going to be a fun day. Get here early. Party starts at 6.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson. Morning 6 to 10 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Injuries happen, and when they do, skip the ER and get to the Ortho Now Injury Clinic by TSAOG Orthopedics and Spine. Ortho Now provides walk-in care for injuries like broken bones, dislocations, sprains, and strains. Conveniently located in the Quarry area with extended hours Monday through Saturday with on-site x-ray casting and bracing, Ortho Now has everything you need to treat your injury, and best of all, no urgent care or emergency room copay. Learn more online at tsaog.com.
Dave Ramsey here. The only water softener I recommend is a quality water softener from Connecticut. It really is the last water softener you'll ever own.
ConnecticutSA.com.
And tell them Dave Ramsey sent you.
You like saving money, right? We all do. That's why Allstate just lowered the price of car insurance. Not, but wait, there's a catch. Lower. Actually lower. So if you're shopping around or just want to see how much you could save, check Allstate first for a new lower auto rate that could save you hundreds. You're in good hands with Allstate. Not available in every state. Only applicable for new auto insurance business. Rates will vary by several factors, including how you purchase the policy. Potential savings vary. Allstate North American Insurance Company and Affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
At Boot Barn, we believe that the cowboy boot is an American icon. Today's boots are not only rooted in history, but are enhanced with modern technology features for the working cowboy. Ariat boots are built with advanced technology that provides the comfort and support of a high-performance athletic shoe, yet still has the functionality and durability of the iconic cowboy boot. And at Boot Barn, we carry over 250,000 pairs of Ariat boots nationwide. Ariat at Boot Barn.
Here in Texas, we know that trust is earned and reputation matters. Since 1993, Thomas J. Henry dedicated himself to building a firm that injured clients can trust and that Texans can respect. A firm where no defendant is too big and no case is too small. Backed by a track record of success and a commitment to our clients, Thomas J. Henry remains the name you can depend on if you have been injured. Trust the firm that stands for you. Trust Thomas J. Henry. San Antonio, Texas.
Welcome to guided meditation. Close your eyes. You're at the beach. The seagulls are calling. You take out your iPhone 16e you got from Cricket and use Apple Intelligence to clean up that selfie you just took. It's a good one. You send it to your friends instantly thanks to reliable nationwide 5G. They're totally jealous. Get iPhone 16e for $49.99 when you switch. Smile, you're on Cricket.
Requires new line on the Supreme Unlimited plan. First service charge and tax due at sale. $25 activation fee. Terms and restrictions apply. Cricket 5G is not available everywhere. See store for details.
Presented by Robinhood.
He crosses, spins, pulls up.
With Robinhood prediction markets, buy or sell your predictions all game long. No house odds, just you versus the market. Put your sports IQ to work. Trade every shot, block, steal, run, and moment that shifts the game. With Robinhood Prediction Markets, trade every play. Visit Robinhood.com/predict to start trading. Futures and cleared swaps trading involves significant risk and is not appropriate for everyone. Event contracts are offered by Robinhood Derivatives LLC, a registered futures commission merchant and swap firm.
Hi, I'm April Ancira with the Ancira Auto Group. We've teamed up with 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star to give away $60,000 to local charities in our Bracket for a Cause contest. 64 local charities will be randomly paired with tournament teams. The winner will get $50,000, while the team that suffers the biggest loss gets $10,000. All the details on how your nonprofit can enter are online at Ancira.com. That's Ancira.com. Good luck.
Bluebonnet Bunkin' Biscuits is welcoming new furry family members. 6,000 square feet of indoor play, 5 outdoor yards, and trained staff for your pup. Call 210-750-1298 today. Bluebonnet Bunkin' Biscuits.
Back here on the Blitz, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. So happy to have you guys along. And gals. Don't want to leave out the gals. But when I say guys, and most of the time when you say, hey, guys, it could be like girls, guys. I mean, do you have to say, hey?
Did you just confuse yourself on the intro?
Well, no, I didn't. But I mean, I didn't want to offend anybody, and that's my problem.
Your name is Joe Reiniger.
And I don't know why, because I offend everybody every day.
You
but
don't
it's like,
give a damn.
Hey, guys. I mean, everybody. That's a collective group.
I think that's...
Is that universal?
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm just checking. Didn't want to offend anybody. You know, I'm a nice guy that way, Jason, you know?
Do we need to check your pulse?
It's dinner time. All right, I'm getting a little lightheaded. Need some food. Lots happening, obviously, in the NFL. And, what are the big questions? And I've said the dude needs to retire. Is Aaron Rodgers going to go back to Pittsburgh? Will he end up in Minnesota? Is he going to play? I hope not. But it's weird, and he's not giving any indication.
He's close to the best. Very complimentary of Mike McCarthy, though, when he was on with Pat McAfee today. But what Aaron Rodgers was talking about, what's making all the headlines, isn't football related in a lot of ways. Dude is staying in shape. He'll have options. Could be Pittsburgh, could be Minnesota. But guy's working out like he doesn't normally this time of year. But it's not for football reasons.
You're talking about working out. It's like, okay, are you just always going to be like that? Is there a reason? Have you got to that point in your mind? Like, where do you sit on this particular March 4th?
Probably somewhere between you and AJ, I would say. Maybe closer to you. I know you've got a good workout schedule. AJ's like 5 a.m. on the Versa climber in there, I'm not doing that, but no, I'm trying to stay fit. I mean, it's harder when you get older. So you kind of can't take the same amount of time off as you used to. After so many seasons, I would take, a few weeks off, a month and a half. Now, now at 42, just to stay in shape, you gotta kind of always be dialed in on the diet and sleep and the workouts if you want to look the right way. I want this is we're not on ESPN. I mean, it wouldn't matter, but
Valid.
I want to look good. I want my wife to want to me all the time. I look good all the time.
Everybody has a goal and a reason they do everything. So there's Aaron Rodgers' goal.
Mm-hmm.
And that woman must be a saint.
She is something, but nobody knows anything about her. She is yet to be identified. Aaron Rodgers was asked about that today. And she does not want to be in the public life.
Is he pulling a Manti Te'o?
At all. I mean, he's staying in shape, not for himself, obviously.
I'm just saying. Maybe he's working those hand things.
What was that that Suzanne Summers used to promote?
Oh, the Thigh Master.
Mm-hmm. No, not that one. The other one. Not the Thigh Master. Or maybe it was somebody else. The Shake Weight.
Oh, yeah.
Didn't
well,
she do commercials for that too?
Not sure.
That's not what Aaron Rodgers is worried. But he
is his wife's name Rosie? I'm asking for a friend.
Go right back to the 4th grade, Mrs. Palm. No, but she doesn't want to be in the public life at all, which is kind of interesting when you marry somebody famous. It's there, but at the same time, if she doesn't want that, he's done a good job of not being seen in public. He even told a story that he can't go to his Malibu house anymore because of stalkers and paparazzi, people flying drones and things like that over his house.
Wow. Why? I mean, is Aaron Rodgers that interesting?
Yeah.
He is?
I mean, and again, people want to know who he's married to.
That's it.
There are people out there that give a damn.
That's it. People want to see his wife.
Yeah.
Maybe hopefully she's out by the pool and sunbathing and no clothes on.
Oh, so you just want to fly your drone over in case you can.
I don't really want to fly my drone over, but obviously there's drones flying over.
It's paparazzi. It's just hilarious. He's staying in shape, so.
Yeah. That's interesting. And also, although Aaron Rodgers is kind of a hermit anyway, he doesn't appear publicly a lot. Pat McAfee does that show on a regular, but I mean, you don't really see him out and about restaurants that I've seen. And so I guess they're just happy to stay at the house and he stays in shape and they have activities.
Well, they're newlyweds.
Okay.
It's understandable.
I got you.
Understandable. Yeah, it sucks, man. I can't even go to my Malibu home because stalkers and drones.
RPP.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Though that does kind of cross the line. I mean, there is a level of privacy that you give up when you're famous. And I think they all understand that. And if you marry into it, you realize that's a part of it.
Mm-hmm.
And in San Antonio, I think we're a unique city in the sense of if you see somebody famous out to dinner, for the most part, people leave you alone.
Absolutely.
At least while you're eating. Now, walking out or walking in, that could be another story. But for the most part, people do leave you alone. Could you imagine if, one of the local TV stations was constantly flying drones over Wemby's house? How pissed off he would be? Or, I don't know, Timmy's house?
Well,
I mean, think about it.
Well, I remember a time where Timmy got pissed off because when he was debating whether to stay in San Antonio or go to Orlando, or maybe that was Jason Kidd. I think it was Jason Kidd, maybe both. But I do remember that, and helicopters, all the stations had that up because Kidd was in town. And
but I think you're talking about Jason Kidd, and I think they did the same thing that time when Karl Malone was in town.
Yeah, it could be.
But they went to dinner at the Quarry, right? I mean, Jason Kidd, didn't they take him to dinner at the Quarry and all you TV stations were flying all around?
Well, I know he stayed in one of those fancy bungalows there at La Cantera. I do know that for a fact. And so we were flying over that but it was finally, I want to say part of it was Duncan too, because I'll never forget, I think it was Tom James who, and me and it had to have been Marcus, I guess, were driving or it was a long time ago, but that's kind of what I remember. And he said, look, can y'all please knock it off? And we did.
No, boss.
But, it was that was kind of the deal. I do remember Jason Kidd, but I sincerely think that Tim Duncan had that treatment too when he was literally being courted by the Orlando Magic and Doc Rivers. And
he was almost gone.
And it was close.
Well, and
it was really close.
There was so much in Orlando too. I mean, but I think the Magic had all the cameras out there, not knowing Timmy well enough, because there was all kinds of stuff we saw down in Florida and the billboards and all that. And the one mistake made. Yeah, family doesn't fly in the team plane.
Yeah,
right.
Thanks, Doc.
Yeah.
That was nice of you.
Otherwise, he would have been a Magic's.
Yeah, it very well could have been. And it was, I'm telling you, it was that close. And I don't think people realize how close it was that we just about lost Tim Duncan. And that was just after what?
His first contract.
His first contract.
Yeah, one title.
So 3 years?
Didn't David have to fly from Hawaii to go visit with them and try to convince him?
Yeah, and so obviously it worked out great, storybook ending, and the Spurs have a lot of banners up in the Frost Bank Center. But let's hope the same. And I say this, and I'm knocking on wood, that the same thing doesn't happen to Wemby.
Keep your drones out of his airspace.
Because they are going to come courting. You can bet on it.
No doubt.
When the time comes. So, and I'm sure the Spurs will take care of him well in advance before that happens.
No doubt. There's no doubt.
It's going to be interesting. Those were the days. Just, you talk about just following people, hoping to get a shot or an interview or something that nobody else would get. And it was interesting.
Hang on.
Yeah, Adam says, he said, Eva got pissed. KSAT was flying the chopper over their house. Tony called Greg.
See, Adam from KSAT texting that.
Yep.
Why was KSAT flying over the Parker's house?
Well, that I don't know.
Was that when they first built the grotto and they were trying to see what was going on?
Well, maybe so. I just remember she wanted the pool to be like the Playboy Mansion
exactly.
pool.
So was it Greg flying the chopper?
No.
Is he a licensed? I know he's he has a small plane, but
I don't think he can fly a helicopter.
He's Greg Simmons.
Not that I'm aware of.
He probably could, but is he licensed to do it?
He's Superman as it is. I mean, come on.
Were they flying over during the scandal?
I don't know.
That we don't talk about.
Adam can probably tell us that. It might be that whole scandal with Brent Barry and his wife.
Yeah, Aaron.
Yeah, could be.
Yeah.
Wow. That may have been the time. We didn't fly a chopper over their house. But I didn't have the same kind of pool that Greg Simmons had.
This is true.
So
nobody does.
No, didn't have it. So hey, Greg is the king. King of sports in San Antonio. I know there might be some other guy at Channel 4 thinks he's the king, but he's not. It's still Greg Simmons. I'd rather see Don Harris shirtless. And I love Don Harris, okay? I do. Don Harris is great, but look.
Well, he's kind of the king now.
Well, now he is.
Yeah,
for sure.
Since you're not in TV anymore and Greg isn't in TV anymore.
Well, I never threatened to be the king, so I was like, I was there and we were all, but when I was there and Don was there, and I think Don would admit this, I mean, he was the man.
Greg was the man.
Greg was the senior guy.
You're calling him old, huh?
Well, he is old. I mean, let's face it. We're all getting old. Even old Don Harris. We're all getting old, but that's okay.
All right, so it wasn't during the scandal. Apparently, a different story in the neighborhood. They were checking it out. So while they were flying over Tony Parker's house in the neighborhood.
What neighborhood?
Yeah. He doesn't have neighbors for miles.
I know it. Yeah, his neighbors are way over there.
Uh-huh. So that's what Greg told Tony. Oh, we're not over your house. It's the neighbor's house. Uh-huh.
That's good.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, it wasn't me.
It smells like some BS
there. It wasn't me. That's awesome. That's awesome. Oh, those were the days, man. They were a lot of fun chasing these guys around. It was fun. It was fun.
Paparazzi.
Pledge, you got a show? Extra Innings with James Pledger. Coming up next here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Be sure and join the fellas in the morning. AJ and Rob, they're going to get you started at 6 a.m. And Minix and I will be, if he survives the night at his house alone, Minix and I will be back here at 2 o'clock. Until then, have a great night, everybody.
Two great dicks.
This is The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons 2 to 6. KTFM, Floresville.